vehicle, which came to a halt against a fence of a residence.
The attacks are believed to be fueled by conflict between Kata and Kodeta taxi associations over a route to Somerset West. Ndutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News.
And investigators in Portugal's capital, Lisbon, are continuing to sift through the wreckage of a cable car where 16 people died and more than 20 others were injured. The popular tourist attraction derailed from the railway and crashed into a building on Wednesday. 8 victims have been identified so far, including 5 Portuguese individuals, 2 South Korean nationals and a Swiss person. Police say there's a high possibility, based on recorded documents and other evidence, that the victims also include 2 Canadians, 1 American, 1 German and 1 Ukrainian. A national day of mourning was declared on Wednesday, and Pope Leo has sent condolences and blessings to victims, relatives and rescuers. Gold is trading at $3,546.79 an ounce. The rand is at 17.73 to the dollar, 23.84 to the pound, 20.69 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.70 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 North approaching the Crown Interchange. Please be on the lookout there. And then roadworks are taking place in Boksburg on the N17 West right after Carnival City. Please do expect delays there.
And in your sport, the Proteas held their nerve to beat England by 5 runs in the last ball of the second ODI, clinching the series. At the US Open, Sabalenka came from a set down to beat Pagula and waits to see if she meets Osaka or Anisimova in the final. And Bafana ignoring Lesotho's threats to play tonight's World Cup qualifier under protest.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg starting at 14 degrees, peaking at 30. Pretoria 17 and 30. Vereeniging 8 and 28. The top story in EWN this hour. Some Brakpan residents on the East Rand say they fear returning to their homes following a shooting between Zamazamas in the area.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
Six minutes after 6 o'clock. Dumelang. Welcome to 702 Breakfast, the Friday edition. And what do you guys do every single
Friday? What do we all do on a Friday?
Can I conduct? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's a Friday. It's a Friday. It's a Friday.
There we go. How's your Friday? Welcome to this Friday edition of 702 Breakfast. I'm Clement Manyatela in for Bongani. I hope you're well this morning. I hope your week has been going well so far. We've got a very interesting show lined up for you today. Just before 7 o'clock, we're going to have a conversation with Dr. Zweli Mkhize. He's the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. And he'll be talking to us about this joint parliamentary delegation. It's comprising of the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, and the Standing Committee on the Auditor General. So they are conducting an oversight in conjunction. In fact, they were in the Northwest just the other day. But it's an oversight. It's a 2-day visit. Kick-started yesterday here in Gauteng. And the aim really is to assess service delivery, governance, and municipal finances. Remember, the municipal audit outcomes for 2023-2024 financial year reveal that metros, particularly here in Gauteng, are plagued by poor revenue management, debt collection, and budgeting practices, coupled with financial losses resulting from poor quality spending. So Dr. Zweli Mkhize will tell us what they uncovered on day one of their visit, and how they hope this is somehow going to get to municipalities getting into shape in some way or form. So that's a conversation before 7 o'clock. After 7 o'clock, for our big interview, we'll speak to a former SA Tourism board member, Lawson Naidu. The ousted members of SA Tourism board have now filed an urgent application with the Pretoria High Court to overturn Minister Patricia de Lille's decision to dissolve them. So what exactly are they arguing? So Lawson Naidu will chat to us on our big interview at 7:15. After 8, there's something 702 Breakfast has been doing with EWN's Nokukhanya Mtambo. So South Africa's G20 presidency is a moment to spotlight the continent's voice in shaping global priorities from equality and education to sustainable growth. So Nokukhanya Mtambo has been closely following conversations around this and will be joining us to share what's emerging from the presidency and why it matters for the continent's future. What are you asking us, Mateo, this morning?
This morning I want to know, do you have a vault on your chest? Are you good at keeping secrets? Are you one of those people come to and say, look, I've got something to share with you. I know you won't share it with anyone else. Or are you just one of those people who are horrible at keeping secrets? You start sweating bullets every time you think about the secret that you've just been told and you can't wait to tell someone else.
So, there are certain secrets I don't tell anybody because I know how weak I am during pillow talk. So if Mateo, you told me something, when I'm on a pillow talk with my person, I'm sorry, I'm going to probably tell them. And I may not give them the whole details, but I just can't
So
carry...
you get to judge the seriousness of my secret that
I make a decision, yeah. Should I?
Wow.
And sometimes I won't reveal all the details because I do think some of them maybe are personal. But that secret I'm still going to somehow tell to... So that's why I don't tell everybody, or I won't tell you.
You don't
I'm
get
on
to
my
tell
deepest
some
secrets.
of a secret. You just don't tell a secret. That's
Well,
it.
you can leave out a few details.
Yeah, you can. But also, I asked the person who's telling me, if it's a heavy, heavy secret, I asked, can I tell my husband?
Yeah.
Because you need someone to also
You need
share
someone
it
to
with.
I'm
share
telling
that
you,
with.
so you don't tell anyone else.
No, I'm just telling my
it's
husband.
burdening you. That's
Yeah.
why you can't keep it to yourself, and I must keep it to myself.
You know?
No,
Sorry for your
Just
friend.
my husband,
You
not
don't
not
tell
anyone
anybody.
else. My
just your
husband,
partner.
Yeah.
I think it's only fair.
So now when I'm coming to your house, I know that your husband knows.
Well, not all the
Not all the
details.
details. And also, I would have asked for your permission. If you say no, I'll keep it. I won't tell.
No,
him.
but it was heavy for you, Amu. You are telling me
Guys,
now.
you can't keep secrets. That's fine. I'll
Yeah,
tell you why
no.
I'm asking.
Can you keep a secret? Give us a call right now on 011-883-0702. Or are you like Amu and myself? If it's a partner, if it's your wife, it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, at least give me some leeway to share something. But you know, for me, guys, I always enjoy the expressions and the responses of people when I tell them like a juicy secret.
Such a journalist.
I'm obsessed with that reaction. Like, and you know, the way I tell it, I won't just go straight into it. Like, I will ask you questions because I enjoy seeing your expression, like when I tell that secret. So, yeah, maybe I'm not the person to tell secrets to. 011-883-0702. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702.
702.
Weather.
All right, let's look at what temperatures we can expect today. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg starting at 14 degrees, peaking at 30. Pretoria lows of 17, highs of 30. Vereeniging lows of 8, highs of 28. Cape Town is expected to be cloudy along with a moderate southeasterly breeze, a low of 14 and a high of 20. Gqeberha lows of 13, highs of 20. East London lows of 13 and highs of 22. In Durban, temperatures there expected at 16 degrees and expected to peak at 26.
Friday, it's a Friday, it's a Friday. Morning, team. Happy Friday. Menzi from Lowly Extension 2.
EWN Traffic.
12 minutes after 6, this Eyewitness News Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Amo, how are we looking?
Well, let's start off with those roadworks taking place in the Boksburg area. They are bound to cause heavy delays this morning between Carnival City and the R21. Please be on the lookout there and drive with care. Use the N12 West as your alternative. And if you're traveling in Alberton, some delays on the R59 North. This is between Swashgopis Road and Nelson Mandela Avenue. There's also some delays on the M1 North already between Boyson's Road and the Crown Interchange. I'll have more updates for you, but if you see anything else, we're on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a family driving to their new home, carrying boxes stacked with plates and toys and memories. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a new beginning, a fresh start on the move. Every story's different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Mzansi, your backyard just got better. Explore more for less because the Great South African Sale is coming with up to 50% off travel deals. From the breathtaking scenery to a beach picnic, camping in the wild, or the thrill of Gussie vibes. There's something for everyone. Book from 8 to 14 September 2025. Visit shortleft.co.za to book and travel later. After all, it's your country. Enjoy it, because nothing's more fun than a short left. Hashtag TravelWise Mzansi. T's and C's apply.
In a world where everything is instant, some things are worth slowing down for. You took the time to build a life of distinction. Every moment, every milestone, every decision. At Indwe, we take the time to understand your world and craft insurance solutions to protect it. Because true peace of mind is the greatest luxury of all. The right insurance starts with a conversation. It starts with helloindwe.co.za. Indwe Risk Services is an authorized financial services provider.
Light the fire this game day with a winning lineup from Checkers. Like Championship Boerewors thick or thin for R109.99 per kilo. Steakhouse Classic man-size club steak for R130 per kilo. And Fanta Sprite or Stony soft drink 2 litres. Any 2 for R35. Save 13%. Light the fire, South Africa, and let Checkers do the rest. Deals valid until this Sunday. Only at Checkers.
Mzansi, don't miss out on playing Powerball and Powerball Plus for a life-changing 103 million rand in total guaranteed jackpots this Friday. That's right, play Powerball for the guaranteed 50 million rand and Powerball Plus for the guaranteed 53 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good morning, 702. It's a Friday. Oh, I love this day. Anyways, with regards to free secrets, yes, I have many people who come to me who talk their personal thing, and it's strictly between me and them and God. So, yeah, I can keep a secret, and I have many people's secret for many years, even though they have been in bad terms with me, but that doesn't mean I must release their secret out, you know. I must reveal their secret. Sorry, my apologies on that. But yeah, it's a Friday. We're rocking, guys. I hope you guys rocking too. Salams, bye. Bye.
Clement, a secret should be kept a secret. But the minute you say it out, it's no longer a secret. You understand? You come to me and tell me your secret. The minute you turn your back, the whole Soweto will know about what you've said to me. Taru, go deep proof.
Good morning, Clement. It's Hector here. You know, I once worked with a 13-year-old lady, whereby if you share a secret with her, she will tell everyone. Then when you ask her, Mom, I told you this secret in confidence because you are an elder. Say, no, secret how? Agree no chisa wena. Linda nchisi yo. Nankasi khono ibeya mo. Incharisa mala. Yo. Yeah, that's how it is. Some of the secrets you have to keep them to yourself to be safe. Thank you.
Good morning, Clement. Muteo, on telling secrets, you can rest assured. With me, bro, I don't tell secrets. I don't. And some of them, they eat me up, and I feel kind of not so comfortable, but I really don't tell. As long as I know that it is going to save someone and their dignity, so on and so forth, I don't. You can rest assured on that one. And I think I'm a little like my dad. There's a little story that I want to share. My dad went to negotiate lobola for one of our neighbors, and then my younger sister used to ask him, and can tell you even today, the old man went under 6 feet under with that secret. He was always saying, "Hakibui di piritsa malapeng," and I think I'm a little like him. I don't tell secrets, even from Marshalltown.
Well, yeah, you guys are stronger than us, clearly. So, yeah, at least Muto knows who to talk to if he's got some secrets. It's definitely not me and Amo. 18 minutes after 6.
702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
A few things you need to know about this morning. The scorching heat is intensifying, but residents struggling with water supply issues in Johannesburg might finally get some much-needed clarity today. Joburg Water is set to provide a crucial update on the state of water supply in the city in the press briefing led by Councillor Jack Sikwaila, member of the Mayoral Committee for Environment and Infrastructure Services Department, and senior officials from Johannesburg Water are expected to share insights into the current challenges and reveal mitigation strategies and some interventions. Donatella Versace, Julia Roberts, and Valentino Garavani are among those who have paid tribute to Giorgio Armani, this iconic Italian designer who has passed away at the age of 91, widely regarded as one of the most influential contemporary fashion figures. In fact, here's a question for you. Is there a fashion brand that you've always wanted growing up and you got your to have an opportunity to get it? Whether it's a Gucci bag, but a brand that really spoke strongly to you. Do you guys have any of that? I remember I used to love a Cavella growing up, and my parents could only buy me one pair when I was in matric, I think grade 12 probably. So when I started working, I got myself three different colors of Cavella, because it was always where I come from, we are Shisa, Mone Cavella. Cavella in a gold tooth?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you were the
it.
hottest guy in school, and I had a gold tooth and I had a Cavella, so...
But life is
I was the
You
ish.
had a gold tooth?
Yeah, I had the L. I'm embarrassed to say that, okay? I removed it as soon as I arrived in Pretoria.
It wasn't cool anymore.
No, when I got off the bus, I used to see how people in Pretoria used to look at me strangely at university.
With your Cavella and your gold tooth.
With my Cavella and my L gold tooth. So I took it. Do you have the brand?
Reebok in 2003, I think, released a shoe.
Reebok was hard.
With Jay-Z called the S Carter. I wanted that shoe with my entire life. But
remember the shock, the Nike shocks?
The Nike shocks.
I had that.
A lot of things were coming out then. The Motorola flip phone. Remember that? Was it the Razor?
That. Yeah, Razor.
I couldn't get all those things. By the time I worked, it didn't matter anymore.
Yeah,
but
they were gone.
I still hold a grudge.
For you, Amma?
Bags. I wanted expensive bags. Your Louis Vuitton bags. I still want one. I can't afford one even now.
You want a Louis Vuitton bag?
I do.
Why?
I really do. It's a nice feel, and it's very strong. It lasts. I can literally give it to my daughter and she can still use it for years on end. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
I love that feel about it. And shoes. I remember my mom got me Lokshin Culture shoes. I always wanted those when they were in fashion. The group was doing so well. And then I told myself, you know what, this is going to be my brand. But of course the brand fell through and I stuck with my Converse All-Stars. So yeah, those are my brands.
Okay,
yeah.
what are those brands for you? Give us a call on 011-883-0702. A brand you admired so much, you've always wanted to have, and maybe you got to a point where you bought yourself that Gucci bag or Michael Kors shoes, Armani, or could be cologne, an Amaxhosa address, a Dio, a David Khaled, what. 072-702-1702. The minister in the presidency, Kumbuzo Ntshavheni, will be briefing the media today on the outcomes of the cabinet meeting. And which reality TV competition do you think you'd struggle with the most? Is it Survivor? Is it The Amazing Race? Is it Friends Like This? Well, I'm asking you this because on this day in 2001, The Amazing Race premiered on CBS, kicking off its thrilling run. The show takes pairs of contestants on a globe-trotting adventure filled with challenges and high-stakes races to the finish. And then, lastly on this day, in 1998, Ada Smith's hit, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, reached number 1 on the Billboard charts.
I could stay lost in this moment forever. Every moment spent with you is a moment I treasure.
newspapers.
Sfiso Zulu, good morning.
Good morning, Clement. How are you?
Good. You didn't have a gold tooth?
No, never. Actually, my sister offered me one. I think I was 13.
What do you mean offered me one? She wanted to give you hairs?
She offered for me to go to the dentist to go make one, but I wasn't cool enough.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I'm not into it.
You
It's
said
not
no
anything.
to a gold tooth?
Well, I was not cool like the other kids. I didn't find it fascinating.
Well, that was going to make you cool, sir.
But I didn't find it fascinating. So I
Okay.
always questioned why people did it. So
Yeah.
I turned that opportunity down. The newspapers this morning, we start on the international front with The Guardian, the Australian edition. It has a story about Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is a veteran Republican in the US, in the Republican Party, and he is basically coming down hard on Donald Trump's second presidency. And he says that it is the most dangerous period since the Second World War. And he was speaking in an interview that was published in the Lexington Herald Leader, which was published on Wednesday. And he basically criticizes the Trump second presidency's administration, says that its trade tariffs can be compared to the policies of the US in the 1930s that historians have compared to the global depression and the causing of the global depression at the time, which paved the path to conflict. So a lot of Republicans are basically also criticizing Mitch McConnell, and they're saying that he shouldn't be bashing the Republican Party and its leader the way that he is. And page 2 of The Citizen this morning, coming back home, is quite an interesting story about how pensioners are being scammed by AI-driven scams, deepfakes, and social engineering. And they are basically saying that these are rapidly increasing. One pensioner, for instance, was scammed for R500,000, and the bank says it is not our problem. So what happened was that there's a person that called him, and they asked him if he played a bet online, and he said that he didn't. And the person on the other side of the phone said that, okay, in order for me to reverse this transaction, which is reflecting on your bank account, I need you to hit an OTP. I'll send you an OTP, and then you must read it out back to me. And he did that. And next thing you know, the bank calls him, R500,000 gone from his bank account. So they're targeting pensioners. So if you have old people around you, please make them aware of these calls.
Oh, yeah. On the front page of the Mail and Guardian, Zille thumbs up for Joburg. They are running a story that suggests that polling systems within the Democratic Alliance have identified Helen Zille, the party's federal chair, as the best candidate for the Johannesburg mayor position. Internal sources have told this newspaper Zille has fared apparently far better than her close competitors, including the Johannesburg caucus leader and an unidentified business leader. That's what the Mail and Guardian is reporting on their front page this morning.
And yeah, just the last one, the Sowetan illegal taxi ranks nightmare. Joburg residents cry for help over ranks which are mushrooming all over the city, blocking streets and their homes in their driveway. And they're saying that people must bear with us. We are here because they need our transport services as a Soweto Taxi Associations. And those are the newspaper.
EWN Business.
Mateo Kharipa, you've been asking us if we have a vault in our chest, how good we are at keeping secrets. Why are you asking that?
Well, Clement, if they were hoping to keep it a secret, it certainly didn't work. Rumors that MTN and Telkom will tie the knot have resurfaced. Africa's largest carrier, MTN, is said to be mulling over restarting talks to acquire its smaller rival, Telkom. The two did try to foster a deal in 2022, but that fell through after they couldn't agree on exclusivity because Telkom was also entertaining bids from Rain. Now, a deal between the two would create South Africa's largest mobile phone operator. MTN is in stiff competition with Vodacom, who recently had their deal with Massive approved by the competition regulators. A deal with Telkom would boost MTN's fiber business as well. Telkom shares have risen more than 40% since those earlier talks in 2022. And this would definitely boost the businesses for both the companies, while MTN is now valued at 254 billion rand. But the potential deal comes at a very interesting time in terms of regulation in the telecom sector. South Africa's telecom sector is undergoing a pivotal transformation in 2025, driven by anticipated reforms in spectrum allocation, consumer protection, and the revival of the wholesale open access network licensing framework. Now, that initiative aims to foster competition by mandating infrastructure sharing amongst operators in the country. If that goes through, MTN wouldn't see the full reason of an acquisition of Telkom because then they wouldn't have to get copper network without a merger. Those close to the matter say the deal is on the cards because MTN has placed its chief financial officer, Tolofelo Molefe, who is also a former Telkom executive, as the head of mergers and acquisitions. So it looks like they are rubbing their palms together for a deal that could potentially make them the biggest in the country.
In the markets?
Markets were weaker, Clement, yesterday with the all-share losing a lot of points, about 1,082 points yesterday, led down by mining shares, which were down 3.5%. Banking stocks were down more than 0.5%. Some of the biggest losers included Sibanye-Stillwater. They were down 7%. Implats down 6%. Sanlam was down 3.5%, with Anglo Gold down 2.9%. A good day for Telkom after those rumors came out. Telkom was up 13%. Alphamin up 7.5%. Woolies was up 2.5%, with Exaro also enjoying gains yesterday. The Rand today, far better mood than it's been the whole week at 17.73 against the US dollar. In the positive this morning at 20 Rand 69 cents against the euro and at 23 Rand 84 cents against the British pound. The price of gold at $3,557 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,385. Brent crude at $66.83 a barrel. More business after 7.
6:31, time for the latest in Eyewitness News. Fiso, hi.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. The SANDF has asked China to postpone military exercises between the two countries and Russia, considering South Africa's G20 presidency status. The joint naval exercise between China, South Africa and Russia are all planned for November in China. It's the third iteration of the exercise, which takes place every 2 years between these BRICS partners. SANDF spokesperson Spiwe Dlamini says they're engaging their China counterparts for a new date that's suitable for everyone.
This is to ensure that the exercises do not impact on the logistical, security and other arrangements associated with South Africa's G20 presidency. South Africa's participation in military exercises of this nature with various countries is part of the furtherance of sound multilateral and bilateral relations.
The City of Cape Town's planned downscaling of the Dial Ride service is facing a legal challenge. The Western Cape Network on Disability has filed an urgent application in the Cape Town High Court to stop the implementation of a reduced service, which is expected to come into effect next Monday. The Metro says its current budget cannot support the service in its current form. Morgan van der Riede has more.
The application, brought by the Western Cape Network on Disability, is set to be heard in the Western Cape High Court this afternoon. The network says it's hoping for an immediate suspension of the planned cuts to the service. The city has tightened the criteria for those who are eligible to use the service. Only those with severe walking impairments will be able to use it to get to and from places of work. According to the network, many disabled individuals were unable to go and collect their grant money yesterday due to the downscale of the service. Acting Treasurer of the network, Anthony Galino, says the city has made it clear it won't budge on their decision.
Yeah, we're hoping that the court will decide and enforce a suspension of the city's decision to reduce the dial-a-ride service. We'd really like to see the court say that the city's decision must be suspended.
The network argues the decision made by the city violates the constitutional rights of disabled individuals. Morgan van der Riede, Eyewitness News.
And investigators in Portugal's capital, Lisbon, are continuing to sift through the wreckage of a cable car where 16 people died and more than 20 others were injured. The popular tourist attraction derailed from the railway and crashed into a building on Wednesday. 8 victims have been identified so far, including 5 Portuguese individuals, 2 South Korean nationals and a Swiss person. Police say there's a high possibility, based on recovered documents and other evidence, that the victims also include 2 Canadians, 1 American 1 German and 1 Ukrainian. A national day of mourning was declared on Wednesday, and Pope Leo sent condolences and blessings to victims, relatives and rescuers. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 8 and 14 degrees, peaking at highs between 28 and 30.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident on the M1 north of the Crown interchange, causing delays coming out of the Boysons Road exit, while travelling in Boksburg. Bumper-to-bumper traffic already on the N17 west between Carnival City and the R21 due to roadworks.
The top story this hour, the SNDF has asked China to postpone military exercises between the two countries and Russia, considering South Africa's G20 presidency status.
702 delivers
on the matters that matter to you.
This is Leanne from Pretoria. 702 is my companion on my drive to work and home from work every day. They keep me up to date with loads of important information on the news of the world, but also lots of other interesting facts. And I always arrive at work and saying, guess what I heard on the radio today? So I think my staff know me as, guess what I heard on the radio today, whenever I arrive at work, thanks to 702.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
so we can deliver more on what matters to you.
702 listens.
Let's walk the talk.
It's time to be part of the change. GovTech 2025 is happening from the 8th to the 10th of September at Durban ICC. Experience cutting-edge innovation, inspiring speakers, and powerful collaborations shaping the future of digital government, from policy to AI, cybersecurity, data, cloud, and connectivity. This is the platform for transformation. Don't miss South Africa's flagship digital government conference where innovation meets impact. Register now at govtech.gov.za to be part of shaping the future.
It's that time of the year. Sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, blocked noses and coughs. It's time to live, work, play and sleep allergy-free. For trusted relief for you and your family this allergy season, ask your pharmacist for the Adcock Ingram OTC Allergy Survival Pack. With products like Allergex Non-Drowsy, Cetisid, Levogex and more, we have you covered. Remember, Adcock Ingram OTC. And visit beprepared365.co.za.
For those 2 a.m. checkouts or the late night shifts, for the last minute orders, and the beginning of the month rush, for the 9 to 5 that becomes a 5 to 9. You don't clock out, and neither should your payments. Pay fast by network, always open for the dreamers, the doers, for you. From e-commerce to in-store payments and business funding, we have you covered. Sign up today at payfast.io.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Morning, Clement and team. I actually had one. I had a gold tooth, and then I had to go remove my tonsillitis. So I went in for an op, and when I woke up, it was gone. That's how I lost it.
Good morning, Clement and team. So you are those guys, Clement. Gold Tooth, L, Cavella. Yeah, Chief, you were a proper Scotan. You were Mpumalanga's George Amani. Yeah, also remember wanting to have a gold tooth, Cavella as well. But yeah, I was too broke to get those. My mother couldn't afford them. So yeah, it didn't happen. And when I grew older, I just didn't care for a gold tooth. And I'm glad I didn't get one. So yeah, Sky and Katlong, thanks.
Hey Clement, you're reminding me of my days in high school. You know, Cavella was the in thing as well. And my parents couldn't afford to buy me one. You know what I did when I started working? I bought 5 just to settle the score. Great show, guys. Happy Friday. This is Prince from Mabopane.
Hi, Clement. I wanted Jessie Pericardine. I still can't afford it.
Yeah, listen, just like Amu, you can wait because Amu is still waiting for that Gucci bag.
The Louis Vuitton.
Oh, was it Louis Vuitton? Okay, the Louis Vuitton bag. So you can also get to that. Yeah, we've been talking about Giorgio Armani, the iconic Italian designer who has passed away at the age of 91. And I've been asking if there are specific brands that you've always wanted and maybe you had the opportunity as soon as you started working to spoil yourself with that Gucci bag or that Cavella for some of us who grew up wanting those several pairs of a Cavella. But yeah, that was the thing in high school, a Cavella and a gold tooth. Then you're the hottest guy in school, I tell you.
EWN Sport.
Good morning, Cindy Polita.
Good morning, Clement. How are you today?
Good.
Fantastic. So, you know what it is for me? I obviously growing up bought into the whole name brand thing, and that's I think just teenagers and how it is. You want to have the same as everybody else, right? But wasn't it an exciting time when you had a family friend who could travel to Thailand and then bring you back a Gucci, but spelled with one C, you know, but it was it was close enough, you know, or a Folklor, or a Versace. Versace. So there you were. And as I'm getting older, I've had time to reflect on it, and I say to my kids, why do you want to buy something that belongs to somebody who couldn't care if you buy their product or not? He's sitting in his yacht in Monaco. He does, and there you are slaving to work away to have a handbag so you can just show your friends. And then I actually thought about it recently, and I thought, I don't want to give that old person my money so that he can live in his yacht, but I want to know I could if I wanted to, I could. And I think that's the status symbol for me. Like if I wanted to, I want to be able to say I can afford Louis Vuitton, I can afford all of these things. I choose not to.
Yeah. That's fascinating.
As opposed to buying it to show it off.
Yeah.
But then my husband will argue. He'll say, "You're paying for the quality. Somebody sat there with a needle and hand stitched the pieces." I'm like, I don't.
That's
care.
what Am was saying about her future
quality.
Louis Vuitton bag. The quality of it all.
The being able to give it to the next person and it's maintained its quality. It's just so the leather everything about it just feels so good.
How does it feel? Because I've never felt one.
It feels good.
And also
now we know. I should go to the traffic desk. Why am I wasting my time on sport? Clearly, that's where the bags.
I don't have one.
That's where the bags are.
No. I must say, I don't have one. It's something that I've always wanted, and I still want because I still can't afford it. If it was just one. Do you know what I mean? I don't want like a collection and no, just one.
I'll tell you, I'm so out of touch with Louis Vuitton. I'll tell you a story at 7:30. Remind me about the Louis Vuitton handbag that my friend brought to dinner. Just remind me.
Well,
please.
okay, the Proteas.
Because I'm getting older now and I'm forgetful, right? Proteas held their nerve to beat England by 5 runs in the second ODI, winning on the last ball of the match. They've clinched the series now. Proteas posted 330 for 8. Breedske top scored with 85. Stubbs made 58, while Archer took 4 wickets. England fell short despite Root and Butler both scoring 61s. Berger took 3 wickets. Man of the match, Breedske, says it's been a great start to his ODI career.
It's been a special start, to be honest. I've played on some really good wickets, and I just hope and pray that it will continue to go the way it's gone. Yeah, it was a challenging game. I think the partnerships we built with the bat were important. I think the wicket wasn't actually as easy as we thought it would be. We were thinking sort of a 280 score there, and it just got easier as we batted along, and playing at Lords, there's nothing better.
The third ODI is on Sunday at the US Open. The defending champion Aryna Sabalenka came from a set down to beat Pegula 4-6, 6-3 and 6-4 and will play either Osaka or Anisimova in the final. Those two currently battling it out. It's at 1 set all. Both sets have gone to tiebreak. The men's semi-final today, Alcaraz against Djokovic, followed by Sinner against Auger-Aliassime. Bafana in action tonight, playing Lesotho in a World Cup qualifier and must win to keep their World Cup dreams alive. EWN Sports Tolakele Mganga is in Bloemfontein.
Amid multiple media reports that Lesotho could play under protest should Tebogo Mokoena be selected for tonight's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier, Hugo Broos was clear in his response to their opponent's threats.
I'm not used to comment or to react on nonsense. I will not do it either today. Thank you.
Lesotho remain aggrieved at Mokoena possibly being ineligible for the clash between the two nations earlier this year and encounter South Africa won 2-0. Putting aside those hostilities, Bruce was keen to remind the national team of the importance of their next 2 games in their quest to compete in a first World Cup since hosting the tournament back in 2010.
We all know that the next 2 games can maybe, with a little bit luck, the final step to qualification to the World Cup. So from our side, we are very motivated to play the game of tomorrow.
The game at the Free State Stadium will kick off at 6 p.m. tonight. Tolagele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport, Bloemfontein.
Kickoff is at 6 p.m. in the Rugby Championship tomorrow morning. The Springboks are taking on the All Blacks at 9:05. That's after Australia have played Argentina at 6:30. The Buck women play France in their last group game of the World Cup. That'll be on Sunday afternoon. Last round of the Currie Cup, and it's the last chance to make the playoffs. The Lions are fourth on the table. They must beat top of the table Griquas tomorrow. They are hosting them if the Pumas beat the Sharks tonight. And on the racetrack, the Formula One is in Italy, the MotoGP is in Catalonia. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Hi, Uncle Clement. My name is Muaz. I am 11 years old and I come from Auckland Park Academy of Excellence. I am ready to play.
Oh, Muaz, I'm ready to play with you.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
It's going up to 15 minutes before 7 o'clock. Amoramela, how are the roads looking?
Well, we've got an accident reported on the M1 North. It's right near the Crown Interchange. Delays from Boysons Road. And then, of course, you'll have to deal with the peak time pressure all the way towards Carr Street while traveling on the N3 North. Delays between Yelands Interchange and Van Buren Road. Peak time pressure there. And please do remember that we still have got those roadworks in Boksburg along the N17 West. Delays between Carnival City and Rondebult Road. About a 30-minute hold up there. Please drive with care. And if you can, try to avoid, use the N12 West instead. We'll have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Ready to lead the future of business? At Vets Business School, leaders don't just adapt, they define what comes next. Choose from a wide range of postgraduate programs designed to develop your leadership and strategic thinking skills. Whether you're looking to deepen your expertise or broaden your horizons, there's a qualification for you. At Vets Business School, ambition becomes leadership. Visit wbs.ac.za to find the program that's right for you. That's wbs.ac.za.
1 year ago, a new name hit South African roads, Jator. 12 months later, we're one of SA's fastest growing brands, and it's just the beginning. This September, we invite you to celebrate with us. Buy a Jator at your nearest dealership and receive mystery gifts from phones and tablets to watches, earbuds, and exclusive Jator apparel. Test drive a Jator today and discover why South Africa has fallen in love with Jator. Jator, drive your future.
Okay, truck 7, that has 0 warning lights. Truck 8, it's just been serviced. I guess we're running like a well-oiled machine. Where would I be without My Way's comprehensive cover for my vans and trucks? Plus, cover for my customers' orders with goods and transit insurance. I guess we'll never know.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
702.
WhatsApp Clement
on 072
702
1702.
Good morning, Clement and the team. Wow, Motel asking about keeping a secret. Well, I can't keep a secret. If it's heavy on you, it's definitely going to be heavy on me. But I'm not going to tell someone who knows you personally. So if a friend from high school tells me a secret, I'm definitely not going to tell the other friends from the same high school that secret. I'm only going to tell maybe the friends from work or varsity or the ones that are not close to her. So I'm definitely not keeping the secret. It's in Pretoria.
Morning, Clement and the team. Happy Friday. Oh my gosh, I'm telling my sister. It could be a friend gossip, work gossip, partner gossip. My sister will know. My sister is my mirror. So please don't tell me your secrets, because if you see me and my sister, she knows, and she's looking at you like that. Like, honestly, I am telling my sister, like, any little thing. It could be a car wreck. It could be, somebody just got proposed. Somebody just got fired. Somebody just got dumped. I am telling my sister, she's gonna know. And when she sees you, she's looking at you. Bonga at waterfall.
Aye, Clement. Yo, it's even worse with you like the expression. No, I wouldn't tell you my secrets.
Listen, if it's that heavy on you, the reason people tell their secrets to other people is because they just can't handle that. Like, I've got secrets that I've never told anyone.
You are very secretive, just so people know. You are very secretive.
I'm very private. Maybe private is the word to use as opposed to secretive.
But Clement, I could be asking you a question, like a simple question, like, oh, hey, how's your mom doing? That the awkwardness that you give me, your face tells me that you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk, and I can already tell. Okay, maybe Shane, he's going through stuff. You are like that.
I'm very private with a lot of things.
Nah,
so if I don't want to talk about something, I won't talk about it.
You won't talk about
and
it.
And I just think that the reason people tell you their secrets is because they're eating them up. They themselves
don't know how
can't
to deal
keep
with.
it with themselves. So you expect me to keep that? Don't put pressure on me that you can handle. Don't. And what I'm saying is, for me, if there's a secret I don't want anybody to know about, I'm not going to tell anyone about it. But if I can afford for that to come out somewhere during your pillow talk with your husband, fine, I will.
And that's why I'm saying, if you ask, like for instance, if you tell me something and I can feel it's so deep, I'll ask you, please, can I tell my husband? Is it okay if I tell my husband?
Yeah.
And if the person says yes, it's fine. Because, you cannot separate yourself from that. Then I will. But if you say no, I'll find a way just to keep it.
Yeah.
And also it depends on what the secret is.
It depends. Obviously, if there's like some really personal stuff that a friend tells me, if I do end up sharing it with someone, and by someone, by the way, as I said earlier, I think only your partners, like if you have a wife or you have a husband or you have a long life partner, then I can forgive you if you have shared a secret with them, not any random stranger. So when I say I can't hold secrets, I don't mean I'm going to go around and tell somebody else or a colleague or another friend. But during that pillow talk, I can promise you that that conversation is not going to come up. I'm sorry. It's 10 minutes before 7.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Time for the Whiz Quiz. We've got Muwaz this morning, who is 11 years old, wants to be an electrical engineer when he's much older. Muwaz, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm good. Are you ready to play?
Yes.
Okay, all the best to you. KG, start the clock. Spell the word reject.
R-E-G-E-C-T.
Incorrect. In math, what is 16 divided by 4?
4.
Correct. What is the name of the toy cowboy in Toy Story?
I don't know.
Woody, true or false? Proteas are flowers that only grow in the Free State.
Protea.
True or false? The proteas are flowers that grow only in the Free State.
False.
Correct. What is the process by which plants make their own food?
Photosynthesis.
Correct. In which country is the city San Francisco, UK or USA?
UK.
USA. What small card do you buy to use in a cell phone? A SIM card or an eSIM?
A SIM card.
Correct. How many sides does a hexagon have? Well, that's question number 8, but we can't get to it because we have run out of time. How many have you got? 4 correct answers. Muwaz, you have gotten 4 correct answers, so you walk away with 400 Rand. If you are between the ages of 10 and 13 years old, you can enter the Whiz Quiz for your chance to win 10,000 Rand. To participate, very easy. Just simply enter via WhatsApp on 072 702 1702.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Coming up next, what's the question? And it's brought to you by Outsurance. Up to 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. All you need to do is send an answer based on anything that piqued your interest on the show, and you could win 1,000 Rand. Simply WhatsApp your name and that answer to 072 702 1702. And of course, a little later, someone else will ask the question to win 2,000 Rand. Remember, you stand a better chance of being selected to give us today's answer if you have SMS'd out to Outsurance and got yourself a quote. SMS out to 45142 now and you could save on car insurance.
You're with Clement Maniatella.
702. Let's walk the talk.
So, a joint parliamentary delegation comprising of the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, and the Standing Committee on the Auditor General is conducting oversight. And they were in the Northwest, and they are in a 2-day visit now in Gauteng. It kickstarted yesterday, and the whole aim really is to assess service delivery, governance, and municipal finances. Dr. Zweli Mkhize is the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs and joins us now on the line. Dr. Mkhize, thank you for making time. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement, and all the viewers.
So, what day one is done of this oversight visit? What has come out of the engagements so far?
Well, thank you very much. The engagement has shown a number of issues that were raised by the Auditor General, because the committees are following up on the report that already been discussed with the Auditor General. It's showing a number of municipalities that have got financial distress, which means their ability to keep a balanced budget is a challenge, where they've got a huge amount of debts, and therefore the amount of revenue that they have to that they raise makes it uncertain how long they will remain viable. The other is accumulation of money that was used irregularly or in an unauthorized manner that has never been investigated. Now, the risk of that is that if it's not investigated, it means it will continue. You can have negligence, you can have corruption that continues without being investigated. Now, it's important that these must be investigated. Then, of course, there are other issues that relate to weaknesses in their own system, financial management and controls inside the municipality, the management of the budgets, their debts, their liabilities, and how well they are able to pay their all the bills every month. So all of this is what we look at. It's about the financial health of the municipalities.
Mm-hmm. And what's the whole idea of the 2-day visit? So at the end of the visits, for instance, what do you do as the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs? Because I'm asking that because what you have just outlined, I mean, that's always been known to the very same municipalities. The Auditor General tells us every single year what the situation looks like. The municipal audit outcomes as well give us an indication of what these metros are struggling with. Can there be an intervention of sorts from Parliament that could assist in some way?
That's already an intervention, because remember, Parliament, the role of Parliament is to ensure that there is accountability. So whoever has been given funds to do service delivery must answer for each and every cent, and they must follow up where there have been irregularities, what action has been taken. So we're demanding those answers, and just demanding those answers is enough to actually change the culture of negligence, of corruption, of malfeasance, in a way that allows everyone, firstly, to know that it's not only an issue in the municipality what's happening, but the provincial government has been brought in, the national government has been brought in. The fact that we've got 3 subcommittees, that means the whole of Parliament is looking at one thing from the same municipality at the same time. So when we're done with the discussion with them, we give them a set of issues. These must be corrected. Give us your timelines. Give us the date by which this will be done. Then the province must follow them up, and every 3 months the provincial government must intervene and make sure that those things that we had stipulated must be achieved. And then if they are not achieved, the provincial government must step in. At a certain point, we're going to bring in the minister to sit with us through this, and then they must also then make sure that all of the issues that were raised by the Auditor General are now part of a normal, behavioral pattern of the people inside the municipality, so that the neglect on the particular aspect is corrected. So we move from that to a point where we want to know, did we investigate why money was used irregularly or why it was unauthorized? Yeah. If they do that, they must get a team that investigate. They must then discipline people. They must refer for criminal justice system to investigate.
Okay, so political instability, I would imagine, is also coming up as a concern, especially in these coalition-run municipalities, because that often disrupts projects, drives sometimes skilled staff away. How do we stabilize governance in these areas?
that's a big issue. As you recall, Johannesburg, the city of Johannesburg, they've actually changed their mayor several times. I think in Tshwane 5 times, Johannesburg 6 times. So that creates an unstable leadership, which is not able to focus on building a stable institution and also following up on projects that have to be followed up, because people change every now and again. Even the management, people who are employed by government, they also begin to be divided according to the factions at the top. So we've actually dealt with that, but most of that is getting under control now. But what the committee is going to be doing, we are going to be processing a bill that's coming in November that will put certain rules and parameters within which coalition governments must operate. We're actually going to go and do a study on some of the overseas instances where there are such traditions, so that we can bring back a framework that allows different parties to operate and cooperate without fighting. So it's important for local government for people to forget about party politics, but to focus on service delivery. Because at the end, all of these things disturb service delivery. And what we are saying is, as the Parliament, we do not want to tolerate any instability, any high turnover where people are uncomfortable, they move in and out, and then you get a very unstable environment.
Dr. Zweli Mkhize, thank you so much for speaking to us, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in Parliament.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
On our big interview this morning, we'll speak to a former board member at South African Tourism, and we'll be talking to them about their decision to finally file this urgent application with the Pretoria High Court to overturn Minister Patricia de Lille's decision to dissolve the board of SAT.
This is EWN.
Criminal proceedings in the Jagersfontein tragedy have started, and Zamazama wars have displaced some residents on the East Rand. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. 5 people charged in connection with the Jagersfontein dam wall collapse are expected to appear in court next week as government moves to hold those responsible for the tragedy accountable. The tailings dam fell 3 years ago in the small Free State town, leaving 2 people dead and 1 person missing. Mining waste material was released into neighboring areas when the dam wall collapsed, injuring dozens of people, destroying people's homes and livestock. The suspects, believed to be working for an engineering company, face several charges, including murder. The Department of Water and Sanitation as well as Environment say they are pleased that the truth about what happened in Jagersfontein will soon be revealed. Water and Sanitation Department spokesperson Wisane Mavasa.
This is a sign that government remains committed to hold those responsible for this tragedy accountable, while continuing to support the long-term rehabilitation of the community and environment affected by this disaster.
Some Brakpan residents on the East Rand say they fear returning to their homes following a shooting in the area. People at the Plastic City informal settlement heard shots being fired yesterday morning as they were getting ready for the day. Police say illegal miners have been fighting amongst themselves in the area in recent days. No fatalities have been reported. Jabulile Mbata has more.
The incident yesterday comes less than a week after a shooting in the same area. On 30 August, it is reported that the illegal miners emerged from a nearby dumping site and started shooting randomly, killing 2 people. On Thursday, a similar incident occurred. No fatalities were reported, but several homes were torched. The residents of the informal settlement told police they fear living there. No arrests have been made, but police have opened a case of arson and attempted murder. Jabulile Mbata, Eyewitness News.
Members of the Western Cape Legislature have blamed the national government for the ongoing shootings and gang violence in the province. Statistics were released in the legislature yesterday showing that more than 30 people were murdered in the Western Cape last month. The ANC says the DA's failure to develop communities is partially to blame for the violence. Carlo Peterson reports.
DA Western Cape Chief Whip Gillian Bosman slammed the SAPS and the Parole Board for their failure to protect citizens. The one cannot prevent crime without sufficient officers and sufficient resources. The other cannot claim to protect society when it releases high-risk offenders into communities already so under siege.
ANC MPL Benson Kwensu admitted the lack of police intelligence in the province is also to blame.
The destabilization of police intelligence on the one hand and the DA's failure to confront the chronic crisis of underdevelopment on the other are directly responsible for the surge in violent crime in this province.
The ANC has called on the National Commissioner of Police to urgently appoint a permanent head of police intelligence in the province. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And US President Donald Trump says he will speak with Russia's Vladimir Putin soon, following another phone call with his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders. Trump's call yesterday comes after a summit in Paris aimed at firming up plans for security guarantees for Ukraine if or when there is a ceasefire. A Russian representative says that talks with Trump can be organized very quickly if necessary, but he's rejected the idea of Western security guarantees for Kyiv. Speaking on the sidelines of a dinner with prominent US tech executives at the White House, Trump says talks are going well.
After your phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky today, do you plan to speak with Russia's President Putin in the near future?
I will be, yeah, I will be. We're having a very good dialogue.
Gold is trading at $3,546.79 an ounce. The rand is at 17.73 to the dollar, 23.84 to the pound, 20.69 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.70 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N17 West between Carnival City and the R21 Rondebolt Road. That's due to roadworks taking place along this route. And if you're traveling in the city of Tshwane, we've got delays on the N1 South coming out of the Flying Saucer interchange towards Border Avenue. That's due to an accident between these 2 points.
And in your sport, the Proteas defend 331 and a 5-run win over England to win the ODI series. At the US Open, Anisimova took 3 hours to beat Osaka and will play Sabalenka in the women's final. Bafana's new faces are ready to battle Lesotho in tonight's World Cup qualifiers. And the Springboks kick off with the All Blacks tomorrow morning at 9:05.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg is at a low of 14 degrees, peaking at 30. Pretoria, 17 and 30 as well. Vereeniging, 8 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. 5 people charged in connection with the Jagersfontein Dam wall collapse are expected to appear in court next week as government moves to hold those responsible for the tragedy accountable.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. 702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
Seven minutes after 7 o'clock, Dumelang, welcome to the Friday edition of 702 Breakfast. Clement Manyatela here in for Bongani Bingwa with the usual crew, Bapelile and Sia taking your calls, KG on the ones and twos, Amo with your traffic, and Moteo with your business updates. Listening to that story from Eyewitness News around the Brakpan residents on the East Rand who are fearing returning to their homes following a shooting in the area. And the residents are saying that, at Plastic City Informal Settlement, they had these gunshots being fired yesterday morning as they were getting ready for the day. And police now are saying illegal miners have been fighting amongst themselves. And I couldn't help but remember Tiger as I was listening to the news. Do you remember Tiger? Tiger is an illegal mining kingpin, or one of the kingpins, because these things have levels. He was assisted by the police to escape. Remember in Stilfontein, when there were illegal miners, it was so tragic. Some people died underground from just starvation, really. And there was this specific kingpin who was controlling things underground. The police knew about him. In fact, they waited for him. As he came out, they assisted him to escape. Cops took him in a beautiful car, and he's probably sipping on cocktails somewhere on an island. Have we moved on from that? I mean, the SAPS members were arrested at some point, but some of them kept their jobs. But nobody's saying anything about what really transpired. If at all, even these police officers that were arrested are going to defend themselves and say, we don't know what you're talking about. We didn't assist him. But he was assisted. Internal investigation in the SAPS suggests so. I mean, it's obvious as well, because the people who were coming out of that mine in Stilfontein were being taken to jail. But here's Tiger. He gets taken into a comfortable, air-conditioned car, helped to escape. And to this day, we don't know where he is. And I wonder if one day we'll ever know the truth.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
The Minister in the Presidency, Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, will be briefing the media today on the outcomes of the cabinet meeting, and also the Johannesburg residents might finally get some much needed clarity today, because Joburg Water will be announcing a number of things today in as far as the state of water supply is in the city. So they'll provide that crucial update. And in that press briefing, which will be led by Councillor Jack Sikwaila, member of the Mayoral Committee for Environment and Infrastructure Services Department, and senior officials from Johannesburg Water, you can expect them to share some insights into the current challenges and reveal mitigation strategies. Which reality TV competition do you think you'd struggle with the most, Amoramela? Is it Survivor? Is it The Amazing Race? Is it Friends Like These? The Biggest Loser? The Weakest Link? Big Brother, The Apprentice, I can go. Family Feud. And I ask this because on this day in 2001, The Amazing Race premiered on CBS, kicking off its thrilling run. The show takes pairs of contestants on a globe-trotting adventure filled with challenges and high-stakes races to the finish. I probably wouldn't do well with Friends Like These because I don't know
your friends that
details. Well? I know them. I think I know them, but I'm very I don't know my friends. I know my friends' birthdays because I diarize them.
Yeah.
And if you just ask me right now, when is this person's birthday? I'm probably going to have to think about it and go to my diary to check.
I think then you would be able to make it on Friends Like These because they don't specifically ask you about those specifics. It's about what do they like to eat, to drink, stuff. Where do they like going, where do they grow up in? Those kind of details you would get those.
Those are obvious things that we talk about. The Weakest Link, I would struggle there. Like the anxiety of also, I don't know, like my ego probably wouldn't take like the punishment that comes with you getting things wrong and everybody just rating you out. And the host, the UK version of the Weakest Link, she's quite stern.
I know. I wouldn't do well on... If I were to do The Amazing Race with my husband, I don't think I would do so well,
Why?
Because he's very competitive. He's very athletic. And he knows his ways around a lot of areas, people and whatnot. I wouldn't be able to. As well as this one that is very recent. It was on Netflix, Love Never Lies. What happens there is that you come in as a couple and then you get swished with other couples in the mix. So if I came in with my husband, you came in with your partner. Later on in the show, they switch.
Was it the one hosted by Minnie Dlamini?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah,
I wouldn't do well on that show.
Why?
Because then I don't know, it's just too much.
But you did another reality show.
I did a reality show, Wife Swap. And
so you swapped, you were with another husband,
yes,
and the other wife of that husband was with you.
With my family. More than the husband, we are with the families and not the husbands. So we are swapping our roles as wives within our family. So that nothing happens between me and the husband, which is great. But we will talk from time to time, like about the money spending of the house, about the children. We'll have activities that we do together with the kids. So the kids are very much the core of the show. So that's why it was easy for me to be part of it. What if you develop an
interest with the new husband?
There is no way you would, because they pair you with a husband or with someone with totally different
values.
Yeah.
And okay. because anything is possible. You could
If
actually
anything,
think.
it makes you appreciate your family and your husband even more.
That's interesting. What is it for you? Give us a call or send us a WhatsApp voice note on 072 702 1702. A reality TV show that you think you'd struggle with the most. The ad hoc committee investigating allegations made by the SAPS KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Head, Lieutenant General Ntantlam Khonazi, is set to meet today to receive a progress report on preparations for its upcoming hearings. Freddie Mercury, the legendary frontman of Queen, would have turned 79 today, having been born on this day back in 1946.
Landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy, because I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Anyway the wind blows doesn't really matter to me. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama.
702. Up next.
The big interview.
EWN Traffic.
15 minutes after 7 o'clock, this Eyewitness News traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Amo, there are peak time delays now. What are the roads looking like?
Yeah, on most routes, Clement, along the M1 North between Boyson's Road and Carr Street, as well as on the M2 West between Elof Street and the Crown Interchange. If you're traveling on the N3 North, more peak time delays. This is between the Elands turn off and the Kilulis Interchange. Otherwise, in the city of Tshwane, we still have got that accident on the N1 South in the PF and Raineyveld area after the Flying Saucer interchange is causing heavy delays. Please be on the lookout. I'll have more updates. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
20 years ago, you were driving to the hospital to meet your first grandchild, and 20 years ago, the Outsurance pointsmen were on the roads, easing traffic congestion. Whether you're an Outsurance client or not, we've all been getting something out. Show the Outsurance pointsmen some love this month and celebrate this 20th anniversary using hashtag pointsmenlove. From Johannesburg, Tshwane and Paarl to Stellenbosch, let's celebrate. Outsurance really means it when they say you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Mzansi, don't miss out on playing Powerball and Powerball Plus for a life-changing 103 million rand in total guaranteed jackpots this Friday. That's right, play Powerball for the guaranteed 50 million rand and Powerball Plus for the guaranteed 53 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529 hash for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
When it comes to protecting your workforce, trust the workwear brand that has been protecting workers for over 150 years. Sweetall. Sweetall has overalls and uniform solutions for every industry, so your team is safe, comfortable, and ready to tackle any challenge. Visit our new Boksburg showroom, shop A1 Atlas Road, Westwood, Boksburg, or go to sweetall.com today. Sweetall, we never let you down. Superior protective workwear since 1871.
Ever driven 6 hours to get to a place that should have taken 1? Skip the detour with Sem Air, a proudly South African full-service airline, connecting you to 16 top destinations, whether it be for business or a break. Baggage included. Onboard snacks. Always. Comfort and service, count on it. Because when your time matters, your airline should too. Book now at semair.co.za. Sem Air, more from your airline.
Mzansi, your backyard just got better. Explore more for less because the Great South African Sale is coming with up to 50% off travel deals. From the breathtaking scenery to a beach picnic, camping in the wild, or the thrill of gussie vibes, there's something for everyone. Book from 8 to 14 September 2025. Visit shortleft.co.za to book and travel later. After all, it's your country. Enjoy it, because nothing's more fun than a short left. #TravelWise Mzansi. T's and C's apply.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Clement, at high school, my parents bought me 3 pairs of Brentwood. Grey one, black one, and a gold one. The black and the grey I wore to school. After high school, I got a job. I couldn't afford to buy Brentwood. Now, I don't want to buy it. I don't see a reason to buy it. Thanks to my parents who bought me 3 of them at around 80 rand a pair, and around 1980 it was very expensive. Thank you.
Morning, Clement and the team. Good morning and a happy Friday. Helen here. Yes, I'm still waiting for Louis Vuitton handbag or at least shoes. And I'm working, but I can't afford it. So what I did is that I just went to the Chinese shop and bought myself the fake shoes just to settle the scores because I love it. But anyway, within a week, my goodness, I don't want to tell you what happened with those shoes. But at least there was that V sign there, and I was happy for a week. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
I would have told you that, like getting counterfeit products like that. But I get that because for some people, it's because some of these brands are just so expensive. And the only way that you're ever going to get close to some of those brands is if you get something else that looks like that. But of course, that's also like not cool. In fact, it's criminal what's being done because that's counterfeit. They've gone and made a product pretending to people that it's actually the original, which is not allowed. And the reason we've been talking about these brands that you've always wanted and whether you got the opportunity to get them is because Giorgio Armani, the iconic Italian designer, passed away at the age of 91. Donatella Versace, Julia Roberts, Valentino Garavani are some of fashion icons who have paid tribute to Giorgio Armani. And I've been asking you this morning, what's that brand that you have always wanted and you wanted the opportunity to get it? And I said to you earlier, mine for me was Cavella. And yes, I had an opportunity to own one when I was probably in matric. When I started working, I really got myself a few pairs of Cavella because that was the thing where I grew up. It was like a big thing. A Cavella and a gold tooth. Listen, that's the way to go. Eh? 21 after 7.
Good morning, Clement and the team. This is Mpho calling. On brands that I liked when I was growing up, I had Cavellas. I had different colors of Cavellas. In suede, in leather. I was a cool kid. You know, I had that Ericsson phone whereby you change colors. So I would change colors according to the outfit that I was wearing on that day. And I'm laughing listening to you about the gold tooth. I also had a gold tooth that I got from my parents' medical aid. So Cavella's Ericsson phone, the gold tooth, I had all that. I don't want to see all those things today. None of them. Thank you, Clement.
Yeah. Was it even allowed for gold tooth to be gotten through a medical aid? Because back in the day, that's how a lot of people were doing it. Was that even allowed? It's 22 after 7.
702.
The big interview.
So the ousted members of the South African Tourism Board have now filed an urgent application with the Pretoria High Court to overturn Minister Patricia de Lille's decision to dissolve the board. And part of their argument is that the minister's actions undermine accountability and the independence of statutory boards, and that the standoff threatens stability in the sector, which is so vital to South Africa's economic recovery. To help us make sense of what this means, for tourism and for governance. We're joined by Lawson Naidu, who's a former member of the SA Tourism Board. Mr. Naidu, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. Thank you so much.
So what exactly is it that you are arguing in court as you challenge this decision by the minister?
Well, it's a very simple issue, actually. In the letter that the minister sent to us announcing the dissolution of the board, she claims that we had a meeting on the 1st of August during which we took what she calls an unlawful resolution. That's the only reason she's given for dissolving the board. There was no meeting. We took a resolution on the 1st of August via a round robin resolution, which is a normal practice in any company or board. The minister simply got her facts wrong, and she's raised all sorts of other issues now in the public domain about our so-called governance failures and so on. None of that stands to scrutiny, let alone the fact that it wasn't in her letter, and she's got to now defend herself on the basis that we had a meeting on the 1st of August, which we didn't.
Yeah. So how have you? Because her issue is that there's a resolution that was taken by the board members. And when you look at, in fact, what she was arguing was that the board may adopt a resolution without a meeting if at least a majority of the members in the office at the time indicate their support for that resolution. But then it also says that a resolution in terms of subsection 1, I was reading section 20 there, a resolution in terms of subsection 1 says, has the same status as if it were adopted at a meeting. Isn't that what then the minister is arguing? That yes, there was a resolution taken, but whether it happened on WhatsApp or not, at the end of the day, there was a resolution that this board has taken.
There was a resolution, and the resolution was that the board appointed me as a representative to speak of and to communicate on behalf of the board. There was that. The minister is actually quite confused. She does not seem to understand the difference between a meeting of the board, a special meeting of the board, or a round-robin resolution. You take a round-robin resolution without a meeting. She seems fixated that because you've taken the resolution, you must be met.
But what constitutes as a meeting?
Look, this was done via a resolution that was signed. There's an app called DocuSign, in which people sign a resolution individually, all on the same day, and this was a resolution signed by all of the members, every single member of the board, on the same day, without a meeting.
So you have filed now this court application. What's the next step?
Well, we filed an application because the minister's decision is clearly unlawful. There was no meeting on the 1st of August, and that's the basis on which she fired us. So the matter is now before the court, and we will await directions from the court. We filed it on an urgent basis. Mm-hmm. And because it's clearly unlawful, we all went to Parliament on Tuesday this week. The minister was called to account by the Portfolio Committee. She was unable to answer any of the questions that were posed to her by members of Parliament. All of the parties that were present in Parliament said to her, Minister, reconsider your decision, reinstate the board.
Mm-hmm. So if for some reason, what are you seeking really from the court? So if they do say, okay, the minister probably didn't follow the letter of the law in dissolving the board, the minister could still come back and say, I have lost confidence in the board, find another reason to dissolve it. She's got some options that she could consider to still get to where things are now.
Well, she could, but she will have then exposed herself, Clement. The real reason here is she is protecting the CEO, whom the Auditor General and an independent forensic investigation has found steps need to be taken in terms of unlawful activities at SA Tourism, and that's what the minister is protecting here. So she must explain to the people of South Africa the real reason why she's dissolved this board.
All right, Lawson Naidu, former SA Tourism board member, thanks for making time.
EWN Business.
29 after 7 o'clock, Motheo Sanlam reported a record profit of 11.6 billion rand for the first half of the year.
Yeah, good reporting period for them. Sanlam says new business volume increased, driven by its credit units, the life insurance business, as well as the general insurance division. Africa's largest insurer says profit climbed 7% to 11.6 billion rand in the 6 months through to June. The insurer's net revenue also went up for financial services, climbing by 14% to 8.1 billion rand. Sanlam's earnings growth was driven by recovery in its business on the continent and also surging new business in India. Operational earnings rose to 9.3 billion, boosted by high investment returns on shareholder capital. Sanlam operates in about 31 countries and more recently has gotten into a joint venture with Time Bank to grow its personal loans business in South Africa.
Anglo American, I see they're selling their remaining 19.9% stake in Valterra Platinum.
Yeah, Valterra is the new unit that's listed on the JSE, previously known as Anglo American Platinum. They're selling off the last 20% stake of that particular company for about 44.1 billion rand. The sale will assist the mine with reducing its $10.8 billion debt. Anglo American sold 52.2 million Valterra shares at 845 rand per share, so a big payday for those who benefited there. The sale is part of Anglo American's portfolio simplification to focus on things like copper, iron ore, and crop nutrients.
The markets?
Markets were far weaker. The JSE All Share down by more than 1,000 points as mining shares came in lower by 3.5%. Banking stocks continuing their weakness, down by close to 1%. Then looking at your indicators, the rand at 17 rand 74 in a better position this morning against the dollar, 20 rand 69 cents against the euro, and at 23 rand 85 cents against the British pound. Price of gold up at $3,557 an ounce, or platinum is up 0.5% at $1,381. Brent crude at $66.83 a barrel. More business after 8.
7:31, time for the latest in Eyewitness News, and this Eyewitness News is brought to you by Lottoland. Lottoland changes lives. Sfiso, there are some concerns around the teenage birth rate crisis in the Eastern Cape.
That's right, Clemens. A leading child and youth advocacy organization says the teenage birth rate crisis in the Eastern Cape has been ignored for far too long. A Statistics South Africa report shows that more than 100 children aged between 10 and 14 gave birth in the province between April and July this year. The director of the Teddy Bear Clinic, Shahida Omar, says this is concerning.
This is just something that has been left for far too long. It's a national pandemic and the president has to address it. We have to declare this a national pandemic because the reality is that South Africa has increasing numbers of children giving birth to children.
Omar says the crisis is testament to deep social injustices.
We know there is learner-on-learner sexual abuse, but there's a lot of adult-on-learner, educator-on-learner, and those are the cases, the statutory rape cases that are not coming to the fore. What we are getting is only the cases that are reported.
The SANDF has asked China to postpone military exercises between the two countries and Russia, considering South Africa's G20 presidency status. The joint naval exercise between China, South Africa and Russia are also planned for November in China. It's the third iteration of the exercise, which takes place every 2 years between these two BRICS partners. SANDF spokesperson Piwe Mdlamini says they're engaging their Chinese counterparts for a new date that's suitable for everyone.
This is to ensure that the exercise is
exercises do not impact on the logistical, security and other arrangements associated with South Africa's G20 presidency. South Africa's participation in military exercises of this nature with various countries is part of the furtherance of sound multilateral and bilateral relations.
It's emerged that a taxi owner killed in Cape Town was a police officer. The man, who was an affiliate of Taxi Association Qatar, was shot by unknown gunmen in Lwandle yesterday. Police say the 42-year-old officer was off duty at the time of the attack. Violence in Cape Town has increased in recent days between rival taxi bodies Qatar and Codeta over routes. Ntutuzelo Nene reports.
5 people were killed in fresh taxi violence in Cape Town 2 weeks ago. 9 others, including commuters, were injured in the attacks at taxi ranks in Philippi East, Kailicha and Makassar. Police spokesperson Malcolm Porgy says the policeman's killers are still at large.
It is alleged that the deceased was driving down the street when unknown gunmen opened fire on him and fatally shot him in the upper body. The deceased lost control of his vehicle, which came to a halt against the fence of a residence.
The attacks are believed to be fueled by conflict between Qatar and Codeta taxi associations over a route to Somerset West. Ndutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News.
And at least 15 people have died in a new outbreak of the Ebola virus in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The presence of the virus had been confirmed in a 34-year-old pregnant woman who was admitted to hospital last month. She showed symptoms that included a high fever and repeated vomiting. She died a few hours later from multiple organ failure. This will be the 16th outbreak of the deadly virus in the country that has a poor health service and is hit by conflict in the east. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 8 and 14 degrees, peaking at highs between 28 and 30.
And in the traffic in the city of Tshwane, we've got that accident on the N1 South near Botha Avenue. Delays coming out of Rigel Avenue while traveling in Irene. More traffic volumes along the intersection of Nelmapius Drive and Main Road. This is due to faulty traffic lights at this intersection, so please be on the lookout.
The top story this hour, the Teddy Bear Clinic says the teenage birth rate crisis in the Eastern Cape has been ignored for far too long.
The excitement around the US Powerball just keeps growing with yet another rollover. This Sunday's jackpot has climbed to a staggering 30 billion rand. Your winning moment could be just around the corner. Head to lottoland.co.za and choose your lucky 6 numbers, or let the quick pick option do the work for you. You never know. This could be your time to win big. Go to lottoland.co.za and place your fixed odds bets now.
No person under the age of 18 years permitted to gamble. Lottoland South Africa is licensed by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. National Responsible Gambling Program toll-free council line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Winners know when to stop.
Live extra at Checkers, SA's #1 value for money supermarket, and save on Oma Auto liquid detergent, 1.5 litre or capsules, 14 or 16 pack, any 2 for 159 rand. Parmalat cheddar or Gouda cheese, 850 grams, any 2 for 239 rand. And ripe and ready avocados, buy any 2 packs and save 10 rand. Valid until Sunday at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
Do you know what's hiding behind the colorful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt, and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front of package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front of package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org, by the 30th of September.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for real estate agencies, law firms, computer services, and more. Jacqueline?
We saved a lot of money when we switched over from another insurance company to Business Outsurance. We've had some claims and they were friendly and efficient and paid out when they promised.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Morning,
Clement, the team. I hope everyone is fine. Yeah, man, when it comes to names, you know, have you ever grown up in a family where when you say names of labels and then you couldn't get even one, but you'll be bought clothes, you try dress nicely, but you couldn't get an opportunity of having, you know, Cavelas. And I had a friend who had all of them. Clement, all of them, the suede, the leather one, all colors. So I always said to myself, you know, one day when I start working, I am going to have to buy myself one. But guess what? That of him wiping the floor with me with the Cavelas made me hate the Cavela. Even now when I look at it, I'm like, nah, it's not me. But yeah, we grow up like that, and yeah, here we are. That's in Midrand.
Morning, Clement. Mujalo Fine Binoni. Oh, the brand that I always wanted. The diesel. Oh, from high school days, I've completed my matric in about 2006. So it was famous, the brand diesel, but not so famous. But I always knew it. I always liked the designs and everything. Even today, I still love the diesel brand. It has always been my favorite. Too expensive. I think sometimes it's a little bit exaggerated, the prices, but hey, it's worth it. I love the brand. Cheers.
Good morning, Clement and team. Just speaking about counterfeit goods, and also in the spirit of commemorating Giorgio Armani. I remember my first pair of sunglasses that were branded Giorgio Armani were bought from Small Street. And my friends and I, we used to call it Jojo Abazi. And it was quite a time. Sylvester and Foyes.
Sylvester. Okay. Cindy Polita, you promised to tell us a story at
Yes.
7:30.
So I went out for dinner the one night, and my a group of friends, and my friend's got this. She's got two small children, right? And they must be like 5, 6 years old or whatever. And she's got a black handbag. So I see on this black handbag, there's like butterfly, but it's like animated, like a butterfly and a tree and stuff. But I see it's a Louis Vuitton. I can see it's a Louis Vuitton, and I'm thinking. Yeah, and I say to her, you're such a nice mom to let your kid put their stickers on your Louis Vuitton
bag.
because it looked like, guys, that was the style. I said, I'm so out of touch. I will try find a picture and post it. I
Wait,
think
that was an original Louis
the
Vuitton
original Louis
bag
Vuitton comes with this butterfly and the tree and stuff. Look on it. And
Have you seen that,
I've
Amo?
seen that. I think I've seen your post as well. You must have posted it
I
sometime
TikToked
ago.
because I was like, guys,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
am so out of touch. I didn't realize
I
that
also
Louis
didn't
Vuitton
know that.
sometimes looks like children have stuck
I
stickers
thought
on
it's
it.
just a usual pattern.
No,
Like,
you
that's
get
it.
different ones. And she
No,
said,
there's different ones. It's like your Crocs. There's different
Hmm.
things that you can put there and whatnot.
No. So this is
No,
how
but this
the
is
bag
original.
comes. This
Exactly.
isn't like it's been stuck
Mm.
on.
Yeah.
But it looked like it. So I was so embarrassed. I was like, well, if ever. Clearly, I'm not a fashionista.
Yeah, well, guess who hasn't been embarrassed? It is England. The Proteas.
It is the Proteas.
Because England were embarrassed, right?
They were indeed.
Let's get the latest in sports.
702.
What's the question?
Not yet.
In a moment.
Not
Just
yet.
not yet. What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. It's your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. All you have to do is SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance. Today's answer comes from Joan in Batlu. Joan, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Clement. I'm good, thank you.
What
How
answer
you?
are you giving us this morning?
The answer is 1946.
1946 is the answer. Have you recently requested a quote from Outsurance?
Yes, I am a member, Clement.
All right, Joan. Well, just for that, congratulations. You've won yourself 1,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. If you know what's the question, the answer is 1946. If you know the question, you can be the 7th caller now on 011-8830-702. T's and C's on primemediaplus.com.
EWN Sport.
Now we get into sport.
Yes.
At 17 minutes before 8
Yes.
o'clock. And this EWN Sport is brought to you by RMB Corporate Banking. Ready, set, cash flow. And we were talking about who was embarrassed and who wasn't.
And how great the Proteas are currently doing at the moment, right? They beat England by 5 runs in the final ball, the second ODI last night. They held their nerve, clinching the series. Proteas posted 330 for 8. Man of the match, Bretzke, top scored with 85. Stubbs made 58. England fell short despite Root and Butler both top scoring with 61. Proteas, who won the Test Championship, beat Australia in a T20 series. And now England in the ODIs. They're on the up. Bretzke explains what's changed.
I think it starts at the top with Shukri Conrad. I think the sort of selections he's making and the direction he's wanting to go with the team, he's very clear on what he wants, and there's no sort of grey area, so guys are feeling really comfortable where they are and they know where they stand. So I think that's to start, and winning that Test Championship final has just breeded another sort of confidence in this change room, so it's good.
At the US Open, Anisimova came from a set down to beat Osaka 6-7, 7-6 and 6-3 in a tightly contested semi-final that lasted almost 3 hours. Anisimova will play defending champion Sabalenka in the final. Sabalenka beat Pagula 4-6, 6-3, 6-4. The men's semi-final today, Alcaraz against Djokovic, followed by Sinner against Aguilar-Sim. Bafana plays Lesotho in a World Cup qualifier in Bloemfontein tonight. Bafana forced to call up some new faces who captain Ronwen Williams says have settled in.
That's key, and that's exactly it. Is for them to adapt as quickly as possible, because we don't have much time. When we see the work that they've done this week, everyone has adapted. You can see the happiness, the excitement, and the hard work as well that the guys have put in this week has been amazing. The new guys, the new faces, they've settled in very well.
Kickoff is at 6 p.m. tonight in the Rugby Championship. Tomorrow morning, the Springboks are playing the All Blacks at 9:05. Coach Rassie Rasmus.
It's a massive game, and not just for the reason that it's Eden Park, and there's many contributing factors. The history, not a lot of our guys who's been here has won in New Zealand. I never won as a player, I think, in New Zealand. As a coach, drew one and won one. So for a lot of the players, even though they're really experienced, it's massive just playing in New Zealand.
Before that, Australia and Argentina at 6:30 a.m. The Springbok women are playing France in their last group game at the World Cup on Sunday night. Last round of the Currie Cup this weekend with the Lions, fourth on the table, are hosting top of the table Griquas tomorrow and must win to make the top 4. And on the racetrack, the Formula One is in Italy, the MotoGP is in Catalonia. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Feeling some lag in Sector 3?
Copy. Optimizing working capital. Ready. You're approaching a tight corner. Cash flow pressure ahead.
Low on liquidity. Supply pressure is building. Set.
Deploying cash injection in 3, 2, 1. Flow.
Nice move. Better supply chain control.
Lab time advantage. Faster cash cycles, leaner inventory, and optimized working capital.
Ready, set, cash flow. Corporate banking from RMB. RMB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider.
Introducing the new Grande Cheeseburger from Nando's. Freshly toasted signature bun, juicy flame-grilled chicken breast fillet basted in your choice of peri-peri. Nando's mayo, crisp lettuce, tomato, red onion, the red one, not the normal one, gherkins, creamy cheddar cheese, and finished with that legendary peri-naise. A burger so big it literally took us almost 30 seconds to describe it, which is why you'll need both hands for it.
Meet Uminatsi Nyaba, a powerhouse storyteller and after-graduate who earned her Bachelor of Arts in Motion Picture cum laude. From a young age, Uminatsi knew that storytelling was her calling, but financial hurdles nearly dimmed her dream. That all changed when she received the Hollywood Foundation's Future is Bright bursary. It lifted a huge weight off her shoulders and gave her the freedom to focus fully on her craft. She began making bold moves and creating incredible work, including her award-winning short film, which was selected for international screenings. Thanks to the Hollywood Foundation, Uminati is ready to tell the stories the world needs to hear. Follow the Hollywood Foundation social pages for more stories of stars on the rise. Sizofunda sonke.
Payment solutions should run with your business wherever and whenever it happens. With PayFast by Network, you can accept payments online, in-store or on the move with one simple, secure system. And when business picks up, our Easy Advance funding gives you flexibility to move even faster. Always open, for every hour, for every order, for you. Sign up today at payfast.io. PayFast has partnered with TymeBank to offer funding to your business.
EWN Traffic.
12 minutes before 8 o'clock, this Eyewitness News traffic is brought to you by the new Opel Grandland with smart tech and striking design. It's German engineering on a grand scale. Test drive one today at your nearest Opel dealer. Tshwane, crash on the N1 South there in Tshwane.
That's correct.
What's going on?
Clement is causing heavy delays coming out of Rigel Avenue, about a 20-minute hold up altogether between Rigel Avenue and Boita Avenue through the Flying Saucer interchange. So please be on the lookout and be patient along this route. If you're traveling in Arini, we've got delays on Main Road and Nelme Pierce Drive. This is due to faulty traffic lights along this route. So please drive with care. While traveling in Edenville, we've got a stationary vehicle. This one is on the R24 East. It's right near Barber Road. It's causing delays. There's also queuing traffic on the N12 as well as the R24 West between Edenville Road and the Kidulis interchange. While traveling in Bedford View, another car stuck on the road. It's on the left lane right near Van Buren Road. It's slowing down traffic coming out of the Elands interchange. Obviously, there's peak time delays being reported at this particular time of this morning. This is along the N1 North between Malibongwe Drive and Rivonia Road. Please be on the lookout and be patient on the roads. We'll have more coming up.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Don't ever settle for great. You know that great feeling after nailing a big presentation? Imagine upgrading that. I'm talking driving home with your car's massage seats, practically high-fiving your bum. Headlights so bright, you feel like the star your boss said you were. Arriving home, making an entrance, grander than your slide transitions. Go grand in the new Opel Grandland, designed and made in Germany. Visit opel.co.za for more.
Opel Grandland. 702.
What's the question?
10 minutes before 8 o'clock. So what is the question? Earlier on, we got an answer, and that answer is 1946. So if today's answer is 1946, for 2,000 Rand in cash, thanks to Outsurance, Siyabonga in Port Elizabeth, please tell us what's the question.
On which year was Freddie Mercury born?
On which year was Freddie Mercury born? Well, Siyabonga, it was on this day indeed, many years ago. Well, congratulations to you. You have won yourself 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. You have requested a quote from Outsurance before, right? Siyabonga, you've requested a quote from Outsurance?
Yes, I did.
Well, that 2,000 Rand is on its way to you. Congratulations to you, Siyabonga, in Port Elizabeth. Now, does your wallet need a break? Then an Outsurance quote is just what you need. Get a quote, and if Outsurance can't beat your car insurance premium, ask them for 500 Rand in cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Savings or cash, you always get something out. Get a quick and easy quote today. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
Are you looking for the best savings on spectacles? At Specsavers, enjoy 1,500 Rand off when you get tested at South Africa's trusted and most established optical group. Get 1,500 Rand off all frames in store, or use your 1,500 Rand off on our leading lens enhancements, such as drive light lenses that reduce artificial glare whilst driving. Book online or call your nearest store today. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
Your office is more than just a place to work. It's a reflection of your success. At Desk and Chair, we help you elevate your workspace with locally manufactured desks and a wide range of chairs to suit your style and budget. Our expert consultants are with you every step of the way, from planning to delivery and assembly. Visit our showroom in Midrand or shop online at deskandchair.co.za. Desk and Chair. Think, feel, work better.
One festival, endless flavor, and 2 unforgettable days of timeless music. The DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, returns on 20 and 21 September at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. On Saturday, the stage erupts with Don Toliver, Questa, and Nkabi Zezwe. Then on Sunday, experience the legendary Lauryn Hill, Wyclef Jean, Lyra, and more. The DSTV Delicious Festival, powered by Lotto Star. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Good morning, Kabazela.
Hey, good morning to you, Clem.
So, Let's start with the story number one. You are asking us about wills and whether someone has left a will for you. Why are you asking us that?
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at it in the traditional sense, maybe your parents will leave something in a will to you and your siblings, and that's what that is, right? Then there are stories where you hear that people leave stuff to complete strangers or maybe organizations. And this story has gone viral, and it involves Neymar, the Brazilian football player, a very, very, very wealthy man in Brazil. He's a billionaire in dollars, has left his entire estate to Neymar. Now, this man hasn't passed yet, but when he does, Neymar, who is not too, doesn't struggle, will inherit this man's estate. And people are just like, wow, lucky him. And what about all the suffering people in Brazil, perhaps? But the guy says he likes Neymar and he identifies with him a lot. And he's not self-serving, something that he says is very rare these days. And hence he's going to leave his fortune to Neymar. So I was curious to find out from our 702 listeners this morning if you've ever inherited something. Now, it could be money, it could be anything else, from a stranger that you had maybe met in your life once or twice, and you made a very big impression on them, and they decided to put you in their will. Or maybe you are that person who has written your will and you've decided to leave something to, somebody else other than your immediate family.
Oh, I'd like to hear those stories. 072-702-1702 is the number you can send a WhatsApp voice note to share your stories with us. And then there's this beautiful sweet video about this grandma dishing out sweets.
Yeah, this took me back as well to childhood. So the video is basically a granny, Gogo. She's got a plastic bag on her lap and her hands are very old, very wrinkly. And it's just a photo, it's just a video of her digging her hands into the packet and pulling out some sugary coated sweets and handing them to the grandkids. And it's touched people really, really, deeply, and people talking about their memories of their grannies and maybe grandpas who would do the exact same thing, a packet full of sweets, and then get the grandkids to line up one by one and give them sweets, or get the eldest to take the sweets and then to go share them out with their siblings or their cousins. And the granny would say, you know what, keep one or two extra for yourself, and then go give to the kids. So I wanted to put that out there this morning. What fond memories do you have of your grannies? If you maybe grew up with your granny, went to granny's house a lot, what kind of treats did she give you? I'd love to hear those this morning.
Oh, that's beautiful. I remember my granny used to cook us motoho, like porridge, and wait like 5 a.m. to do that. I miss that a lot. She used to ask for network. She used to say, please buy me network, meaning airtime.
Oh, shame.
Every time she would ask for network, I want network. I know, I have to get her airtime. What are your memories with your Gogo? 072-702-1702, or you can call us on 011-883-0702.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Amo?
Well, Clement, we've got delays on the N1 North. This is between Malibongwe Drive and Rivonia Road due to an accident. There's also queuing traffic along the Mike 1 South. In fact, a bit of a stop and go between the Baku interchange and Corlett Drive. I'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
When it comes to saving you money, Outsurance puts their money where their mouth is. That's right. If Outsurance can't beat your car insurance premium, ask them for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you have been claim free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Savings or cash, you always get something out. Get a quick and easy quote today. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za. Licensed, insured and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
702.
702. Feedback
with Siamtanda Matiso.
How are you doing, Sia?
I'm well, thank you, Clement.
What's popping?
Happy Friday, 702 Landers. Many reacting to Mutewa's question, can you keep a secret? Much like you and Amu, 702 Landers can't keep a secret. Actually, they're giving you advice, Clement. They're saying maybe it's time for you to get a partner or get married to share these secrets with.
Because I also think that's the only time you must be sharing deep secrets.
So their excuse is that, listen, if it's heavy on you, it's going to be heavy on me. I need to share it with someone. You guys are not loyal. Another one is you asked, what's that brand? It's an expensive brand. You wanted it when you were a child. You could not afford it. Your parents could not afford it. And you decided on your first paycheck you're going to buy it. You made an example of buying Cavella shoes. Many people followed into your footsteps. They too bought Cavellas. But they reminded me that you remember Jack Parcel, the shoe? It looked like the All-Star. It was white. People bought that
with the little navy smiley at the tip. And
it looked so smart. I also wanted those. They also mentioned Dickies, if you guys remember the brand. Diesel is another one. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
They had,
I remember that.
bucket hats. They really had nice style. And also Michael Kors, perfumes, and also the brand. Armani as all came on. Gucci, Louis Vuitton. So lots of expensive brands they mentioned, and also reacted to that reality TV show, the competition that they know they would struggle with. Survivor came up. People can't do outdoors. Creepy crawlies, they're scared of those. Fear Factor, they just don't like eating disgusting stuff. They couldn't. Amazing Race, much like Amu, partners are very competitive. They can't take directions. They know that it will end up in a fight. And obviously the one and only, the weakest link, because thinking on the spot is not the thing that they think they would win at. So can't wait to hear more reactions on Jono's topics and questions this morning.
And that's all coming up after the news at 8 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Lawmakers are confident that rules to strengthen municipalities will benefit many South Africans, and the wheels of justice are turning in Jagersfontein. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Parliament's Cooperative Governance Committee says it will process a bill to prescribe how coalition governments should operate. The committee is in the Northwest on a 2-day oversight visit to assess service delivery and municipal finances. Its chairperson, Zweli Mkhize, says political instability has been flagged as one of the concerns affecting local governance. Mkhize says the bill, which comes into effect in November, will set rules for coalition-led municipalities.
We're actually going to go into a study on some of the overseas instances where there are such traditions, so that we can bring back a framework that allows different parties to operate and cooperate without fighting.
5 people charged in connection with the Jagersfontein Dam wall collapse are expected to appear in court next week as government moves to hold those responsible for the tragedy accountable. The tailings dam fell 3 years ago in the small town in Free State, leaving 2 people dead and 1 person missing. Mining waste material was released into neighboring areas when the dam wall collapsed, injuring dozens of people, destroying people's homes and livestock. The suspects, believed to be working for an engineering company, face several charges including murder. The Departments of Water and Sanitation as well as Environment say they are pleased that the truth about what happened in Jagersfontein will soon be revealed. Water and Sanitation Department spokesperson Vesani Mavasa.
This is a sign that government remains committed to hold those responsible for this tragedy accountable while continuing to support the long-term rehabilitation of the community and environment affected by this disaster.
The South African Revenue Services has made a 56 million rand drug bust. The operation was carried out by the Customs Marine Patrol vessel in Durban yesterday. SARS says the operation was a collaborative intelligence-driven one effort. Jabulile Mbata reports.
The ship carrying the massive haul of drugs was intercepted at Fairway Buoy on Durban's east coast. It was still en route when customs enforcement officials boarded the vessel to search for the suspected containers. During their search, they found 25 bricks of suspected cocaine hidden inside refrigeration units. And after a field drug test positively identified the substances as cocaine, the police were called. SARS Commissioner Edward Kieswetter commended the officers for disrupting the infiltration of drugs into the country and for protecting society from it. Jabulile Mbata, Eyewitness News.
And US President Donald Trump says he will speak with Russia's Vladimir Putin soon, following another phone call with his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders. Trump's call yesterday comes after a summit in Paris aimed at firming up plans for security guarantees for Ukraine if or when there is a ceasefire. A Russian representative says that talks with Trump can be organized very quickly if necessary, but they've rejected the idea of Western security guarantees for Kyiv. Speaking on the sidelines of a dinner with prominent U.S. tech executives at the White House yesterday, Trump says talks are going well.
After your phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky today, do you plan to speak with Russia's President Putin in the near future?
I will be, I will be. We're having a very good dialogue.
Gold is trading at $3,546.79 an ounce. The rand is at 17.73 to the dollar, 23.84 to the pound, 20.69 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.70 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got heavy delays on the N1 South in the city of Tshwane. This is along Linwood Road and Border Avenue, and that's due to that major accident scene. The N1 North is also affected as a result. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the N1 North towards Sunning Hill, another accident near Rivonia Road, delays from Malibongo Drive.
And in your sport, a huge weekend for our national team, starting with Bafana and a World Cup qualifier against Lesotho tonight. Tomorrow morning, the Boks play the All Blacks at 9:05, while the Springbok women take on France on Sunday. The Proteas beat England last night. They're going for a whitewash series win on Sunday again. And over at the US Open, the women's final will be Sabalenka against Anisimova.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 28 and 30 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Parliament's Cooperative Governance Committee says it will process a bill to prescribe how coalition governments should operate.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
Six minutes after 8 o'clock, Dumelang. Welcome to the third and final hour of 702 Breakfast. Clement here in for Bongani. We've been asking you this morning about memories of your grandparents. Do you guys have like Mateo and Amo? Like I remember the porridge my grandmom used to make for us. Like whenever we're visiting her. Like that is always going to be my thing. And as I said earlier, I miss her asking me for network, aka airtime. Like Gali network, and then you must buy her airtime.
Did you also have to punch it in for her as well?
Of course. She would probably be on TikTok now, because our elders lately in TikTok is wild. For you, any memories of your grandparents?
Very fond memories of my grandparents, especially my grandmother, who I grew up. I mean, she raised me for the first 8 years of my life because my parents were working different shifts, night shifts and all those things. So for the first 8 years of my life, I lived with my grandmother. She used to have was it a Telefunken or Panasonic radio on top of the fridge that used to play Lesedi FM all day. Every time I came back from school, my meal was ready. So you can imagine for the first 8 years of my life, that was it. And then I moved to my parents' house and I get there and they say, you must make your own bread. And I'm just like, what is this life? Where's my soft life?
It's gone.
My plate was always ready. But there's a thing that she used to do. And for me, it showed a lot of affection. Like she used to peel apples for me. so I don't have to bite into the skin of the apple. Like she treated me
that's
gold,
beautiful.
dude, you know. So
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I got a big culture shock when I moved to my parents, who had no time to make bread for me. I'm very independent very quickly.
That's beautiful. And for you, Amo?
This was this one particular moment I remember with my grandmother. I had accompanied her to visit her friend, and at the friend's house, of course, the children would be outside playing, but this guy was doing the garden, and I was just fascinated about how well the garden was looking, and I was just playing around there. And he had put the spade, the spade fork, the prong, upside down so that the forks are facing up, right? And then I did a weird tumbler and I fell onto the fork. And then I started bleeding. It was hectic. And I apparently fainted. I couldn't see what was going on. I just remember her giving me these musk sweets. Remember, they used to be round.
Those
and
pink ones.
The pink ones,
Yeah.
yes. And she said, these are pills. They're going to make you feel better. But that's the kind of magic my grandmother had. Even when you were going through something really hectic, she would just make light of it and make you feel like everything else is calm. I didn't even go to hospital that day because, it was so hectic. I needed to be hospitalized, but I never went to hospital. The pain went away after eating those
The
sweets.
were the magic?
Yeah, they were the magic.
Romantics, I think they were called romantics.
Yes, yeah, and yeah.
Oh, romantics, those pink little
Yes.
ones.
She gave me those things and said I must go.
I remember those.
She nursed the wound, gave me
Why
those.
were they called romantics, by the way?
I wonder.
Smell good, I don't know.
So interesting. Does anybody know why we call them romantics? Please help us out here. What are your memories, fond memories of your grandparents?
Hey, Clement and team. I remember my grandmother. I miss her dearly. Every time I'd come back from school when she was over at our house, I'd find her, she would have made a meal for me, a pap and eggs. But this pap was like embedded in melted butter and salt and then eggs. And it was so yummy. But my mom would freak out when she comes back to say, this is like a heart attack waiting to happen. But it was the most delicious meal I'd ever have. And yeah, man, I miss my grandmother so much.
We used to catch a train to go on holiday in the Pilansberg from Cape Town to the Folklor, Cape Town to Pretoria. And my granny and her sister, my great aunt, lived in an old age home just on the railway line in Florida. And when they knew we were coming, they would put on their bright red jerseys and take their plastic chairs, and they would go sit near the railway line waiting for us to come. So they could wave at us, and the kids and myself and my husband could wave back at them. And every time we did that, the train was always delayed. But sure as egg, 6-7 hours later, they were still waiting there. They'd been there all day, and they would wave and wave and wave. It was quite emotional sharing that, but it's an abiding memory.
Good morning, 72 Landers. So I grew up with my maternal grandmother, and best time of our lives, like she would come back home with what we call in isiZulu umgenandlini, and even my grandfather as well, he would do the same. So it's just basically some nibbles, a snack of some sort for the kids, well, for me. And we'd definitely share. We'd share a lot of things. Like my gran would not have a meal and not share, or go to the store, to the mall to get some things and not come back with my favorite stuff all the time. And it used to be nice when it was like month-end vibes. And then that definitely you're getting something, some sort of treat, It was always our thing, even just having porridge in the morning, as Clement said, that was the best time. And now obviously she's late, and making porridge is like the way to remember her.
Yeah, I do also miss. So my grandparent, my maternal granddad, lost. They stole his cows, and it traumatized him so much because it was a lot of cows, like probably over 60 cows gone in one day. And I remember he got so traumatized that at some point he used to just sit and tell us that story repeatedly every day, like, you know what happened? And I remember just because we used to encourage him a lot as the grandchildren. So I miss those. Like we used to sit down with him and he's telling us how heartbroken he is because he lost his cows.
Shame.
And we used to say, no, Mkulu, don't worry. I was all right, because he still has some cows that we used to, look after when we go visit him. And it's like, no, but because he loved his cows. But you could tell when we were comforting him, it landed because he found fulfillment in that. I miss that so much. Like grandparents become kids at some point.
Yeah, they do,
Eh?
actually. They do.
Yeah.
They do. One of my favorite things growing up was bathing close to the coal stove, right? During
That Kaskotlolo.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Those were the days, I tell you.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Hi, Clement. Bongs here. Funny thing, for me, I was never really into brands. Yeah, here and there, but my mom should buy me everything like Costa, Armani, even Cavellas. I didn't even know what they were. Only when I wore them to school that people were like, wow, you've got such nice clothes. But I always used to dress nice, but I was never really into brands. Yet my mom would buy them for me, and she'd do it for all her kids. We always used to dress extremely well. I suspect some of it was probably from Small Street. I'm not sure, but yeah, but it was a nice time.
Good morning, Clement. So my mom has a pair of Jimmy Choo sneakers. My gosh, I die every time I see them because I'm like this old lady and these beautiful, beautiful sneakers that I can't afford. And yeah, I wish I had them, and I can't even borrow them or inherit them because I'm a size 3 to 4 and she's a 6. I even thought of stuffing socks in the front and trying to make them fit, but no.
Yeah. So yeah, remember every township or suburb had a Mam Shabangu or a Mam Zodwa who used to go to town to do Ayostoka, the Nikes. Because we had a Mam Shabangu, Mam Zodwa kind of a person back at home in our village who used to come open her van, and then you pick Nikes there.
You don't have to go.
But at
all
the
the
time,
way.
we didn't know anything about counterfeit goods. We just Nike Shocks. That was the hottest thing ever. And you get that and you're good to go. And now when I'm much older and she's still alive and I want to ask her, Mam Shabang, where did you get those?
I think just let it go. Let it go.
Really?
Let it go.
Mam Shabang, were those things real? Because she's now my mom's friend. And I'm like, I'm going to use that proximity to ask Mam Shabangu what happened. It's 15. Oh, I forgot her daughter listens to the station. It's 15 minutes after 8.
Morning, Clement. So those sweets, I remember they were called the love candy. And yes, that Romano word or whatever. And I think you would give them to somebody as a symbol of your love or your attraction to them. More like PS, you know how somebody would give you a PS? Yeah, I think they were just meant to show affection to somebody.
Yeah, romantics, eh? Yeah, we had all sorts of names for these things. It's 16 after 8.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Amo, how are we looking?
Well, we still have got heavy traffic volumes in the city of Tshwane, Clement. This is along the N1 South approaching the Flying Saucer interchanges due to that accident scene. And there's also queuing traffic on the N1 North as well coming out of Porter Avenue. If you are traveling in Irene, Nelmepius Drive and Main Road, heavily backed up there due to faulty traffic lights. While traveling on the N3 North, we've got some delays between the Geldenes interchange and the Kilulis interchange due to peak time delays there. We'll have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Just phone Outsurance, get a quote and see what they can offer you. If you don't save that 321 like I did, you might get a 500 or $1,000 back. Service and savings, you'll always get something out.
How is it that Outsurance provided the solution for you?
918 Rand is what I'm saving.
Incredible. What brought you and Outsurance together?
718 Rand. I end up saving.
They gave you the real deal.
It literally is the real deal.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's and information online.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays.
12 to 1.
Chris Vick asked, 5 years from now, when they ask you about CD, what would you say? What have you learned from her? And that is, You bring your whole self into a room. You leave nothing behind. CD had a weight thing. She was a big girl, but she carried it with pride, even though she was continuously attacked and vilified. But that did not make her coward. She remained confident.
How beautiful was that tribute from Eldrin Sampier? Oh, and this is just heartbreaking.
The Midday Report
With Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
18 after 8, the G20 Correspondents Desk on 702 is proudly brought to you by RMB and FNB, divisions of FirstRand Bank Limited. So, South Africa's G20 presidency is a moment to spotlight Africa's voice in shaping global priorities from equality and education to sustainable growth. We've got world leaders, change makers, and innovators coming together. And these discussions have the potential to drive real, lasting impact. EWN's Nokukhanya Mtambo has been closely following the conversations and joins us now to share what's emerging from the presidency and why it matters for the continent's future. Nokukhanya, good morning.
Good morning to you, to Clem, and to the listeners as well.
So the SA delegation led a food security task force meeting in Egypt, and it was during that meeting that the Deputy Minister, Elvin Bodes, reiterated President Cyril Ramaphosa's message that people worldwide are feeling the effects of rising food and energy prices, increasing debt, and trade wars. How are they hoping that these conversations at G20 will address these issues?
Yeah, so Clement, part of this conversation is for policymakers really to try to champion agricultural reforms, right, that speak to all of the continents and not just Africa. And I think part of what made it important for it to be in Egypt, even though Egypt is not part of the G20 bloc, was again to push the Africa agenda, even though all continents need that agricultural reform. And the broader conversation there really requires turning the spotlight towards transforming your agri-food systems, which hopefully then improves food security across the globe. But also part of that conversation is tackling your climate change, but also still making sure that there's still sustainable growth. So you're really hitting four birds with one stone. You can't speak about food security, Clement, without the question about the agricultural sector. But what comes with that also is the idea or the issue now, especially now, of the protectionist trade policies. Since US President Donald Trump came back into the scene, we're seeing more of those protectionist trade policies across the board. And then you've got your climate-related events, and then, of course, the issue of financing, especially for the smaller and emerging farmers. So those are part of the conversations. And part of the mechanisms, and in these conversations at least, would be, to put it ideally, is to help reduce your price volatility, addressing your issues of conflict in fragile regions, because in countries where there's issues of conflict, those countries that we are dependent on for particular products, agricultural products at least, if the demand, say, Clement, stays the same for a particular agricultural product, but the supply is impacted by conflict in a particular region, so think your Ukraine during the start of the Ukraine-Russia war, those products that we're dependent on, we get a lesser supply of, but the demand stays the same. And the chances are your prices will then increase as a result of that. So you've got to be able to get around the issues of the conflict in those fragile regions where we get a lot of our agricultural products. And then, of course, going back to the climate smart systems, so that in cases of climate related disasters, the impact on crops, for example, is better managed, Clement.
B20, South Africa's Trade and Investment Task Force, also met this week. They are focused on rebuilding trust in trade, especially unlocking Africa's $1 trillion market. What's the thinking around the intercontinental trade?
A very important one. So the B20 South Africa handed over 30 task force recommendations to the G20 presidency this week. We had International Relations Minister Ronald Damula receiving those this week. And that includes recommendations by more than 1,000 business leaders. Now, if implemented, Clement, these recommendations could see the doubling in Africa's foreign direct investment to anything between $85 billion and $110 billion. And that's the estimation, at least by the group. And that also would then see the increase of intracontinental trade from its current about 17% to, say, between 20 to 30% by 2030. Again, you can't speak of intracontinental trade without the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. And that really tries to create a single market in Africa for the trade of certain goods and services. And there are a number of themes within these recommendations. Again, that goes back to a lot of the conversations that we've had over the past couple of weeks, speaking to bridging that infrastructure gap. We've spoken here when it comes to the RMB G20 B20 desk about that infrastructure issue and trying to find the financing for it, and reducing the lead times when it comes to building the infrastructure. One of the interesting recommendations, Clement, by the B20 was unlocking the pension and asset manager funds for infrastructure, alongside, of course, with the expansion of the role of private credit. So those recommendations will, of course, also be linked to your just energy transition. Again, what we just spoke about when it comes to food security and the industrialization for the growth of the economies. And those recommendations will then be handed over to, hopefully at the end of the year, handed over to the heads of summit, and then, of course, hopefully again be added to the broader document that will then be handed over to the next presidency as we take some of these agendas and these goals forward.
All right. Nokukanya Mtambo, thank you so much. Hosted in Africa for the first time, this year's G20 summit focuses on solidarity, equality, and sustainability, bringing you news and insights from the summit. Tune into the G20 Correspondents Desk, brought to you by RMB and FNB, proud sponsors of this year's G20 summit. Guided by the spirit of Ubuntu, RMB and FNB empower communities. They are committed to a sustainable future and are deeply invested in humanity. RMB and FNB are divisions of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
702.
The World View.
The World View now with Vicky. How are you doing, Vicky? Good morning.
Very well, thank you. Yes, thank you, Clement.
Yeah, let's start with this coalition of the willing pledge to destroy troops to Ukraine after a peace deal. What's happening there?
Well, hopes for a Ukraine-Russia summit to end the fighting have faded. We've got to be honest about this since the Russian president met with the US president in Alaska last month. But yes, the coalition, the so-called coalition of the willing, had another summit yesterday where 26 Western allies formally pledged to deploy troops by land, sea or air to Ukraine the day after a ceasefire agreement is reached. And as I said, that still looks a long way off. The French president, Emmanuel Macron, spoke after this meeting, and he accused Russia of trying to delay the peace process to buy more time to occupy more Ukrainian territory. Donald Trump then spoke to Western allies, and Macron said the US support would be formalized in the coming days. What form that would take? It looks like they're not going to be, US troops won't be on the land, they won't be in the sea, but they may be patrolling the airspace. However, the US president has also been very critical of European countries that continue to buy Russian oil, mainly Hungary and Slovakia. Moscow has also made it clear that no Western forces should be stationed in Ukraine and has insisted that it should be one of the countries acting as guarantors, so they should have their troops on the floor, on the ground, so to speak, in Ukraine still. That's been rejected by Kyiv, obviously. So really, where are we? Well, still a lot of talk and unfortunately not much action.
And then now, Giorgio Armani, a giant of the fashion world, has died.
I think Giorgio Armani is one of those names that we all know. I mean, I don't own any Armani. I think, he's out of reach for most normal people. But yeah, he was a massive figure. He was known, of course, for his ready-to-wear fashion, and people were ready to wear it at any opportunity, especially the stars. As you say, the 91-year-old died yesterday. He started his fashion house back in 1975. It took 5 years, really, to establish that. And it was launched, really, in 1980, when he dressed Richard Gere in American Gigolo. He designed the entire wardrobe for Gere's performance in that film. And Richard Gere was launched as the new nation's heartthrob. And weirdly, Giorgio Armani was launched as the world's favourite popular designer. Now, anyone has been paying tribute to Giorgio Armani. We've got names like Jodie Foster, Beyonce, Julia Roberts, Diane Keaton. They've all been wearing his outfits in the past, and they've all been saying, the fashion world has lost a big part of themselves today.
Yeah. And then tell us about this ringtone plot that foiled in the House of Commons.
It's kind of like the modern Guy Fawkes in a way. Yeah, this is very embarrassing. An investigation's been launched after security guards foiled a plot to embarrass the Prime Minister by playing, let's say, explicit noises from a phone hidden in the Commons. Now, parliamentary staff, they carry out a routine sweep of the chamber ahead of Prime Minister's questions, and they uncovered the mobile phone. Although I say uncovered, what had happened is someone had taped this mobile phone using double-sided sticky tape to the underside of the table in the House of Commons. The tape had failed and it had dropped to the floor, so they could see the phone on the floor. It appears that the device had been set to play a sexually explicit recording if rung, and that the person who had put the phone there hoped to ring that phone when Sir Keir Starmer was facing off against the Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch. Now, as I said, that phone was found. They do know about this plot because the phone rang twice during PMQs, but obviously it had already been taken out of the chamber. The plot thickens, though, because it was believed to be a prank. It was avoided. Security staff say they don't know who was behind it. But let's just put this to you. The security staff on that morning had staged a strike because of pay. So it meant that no members of the public could go into the House of Commons, which means that that phone wasn't put by anyone it wasn't put there by anyone, a member of the public. It must have been put there by someone who works in the House of Commons, or even worse, a member of the security team themselves.
Vicky Turner, thank you very much.
EWN Business.
Mateo, Anglo-American raises billions after selling its platinum business shares.
Yeah, Anglo-American has sold its remaining 20% stake in platinum group metals company Valterra for 44.1 billion rand. Now, Anglo-American sold 52.2 million Valterra shares at 845 per share. A big payday there for shareholders. Valterra is the new listed platinum entity formerly known as Anglo-American Platinum. The cash injection, coupled with a 15.7 billion special dividend declared by Valterra from its split with Anglo, will allow the mining giant to pay down some of its large debt. The sale is part of Anglo-American's portfolio simplification to focus on copper, iron ore and crop products.
Sanlam, they've reported a record profit of over 11 billion rand for the first half of the year.
Yeah, a major reporting period for them. Sanlam says new business volumes increased, driven by strong contributions from their life insurance business, the general insurance, as well as the credit life insurance business. Africa's largest insurer says profit climbed 7% to 11.6 billion rand. This was for the 6 months through to June. The insurer's net revenue from financial services also climbing 14% to 8.1 billion rand.
The markets?
Markets were far weaker yesterday. The All-Share down more than 1,000 points, led down by mining shares, which were down 3.5%. Banking stocks also in some weakness yesterday, down 0.5%. Some of the biggest losers included Sibanye-Stillwater, down 7%. Implats down 6%. Telkom, their shares up 13% after those rumors came through on the market that MTN is willing to take over the telecoms business. Alphamin also up 7.5% yesterday. The rand stronger this morning, 17 rand 72 against the US currency, at 20 rand 67 against the euro, and at 23 rand 86 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $3,555 an ounce, or platinum is stronger by 1% at $1,387. Brent crude at $66.78 a barrel. Stephen Protas will bring you the wrap of the week's business later this afternoon.
8:31, Swiso Zulu has the latest in Eyewitness News. Good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. As a legal battle looms between the sacked SA Tourism Board and the Minister Patricia de Lille, former members say the minister got her facts wrong when deciding to fire them. Last month, de Lille announced the decision to dissolve the board for allegedly convening an unlawful meeting. But board members have denied this and are now taking their bid to challenge their dismissal to court. While the minister has taken issue with some decisions taken by the board, former member Lawson Naidu says the decision was unlawful.
There was a resolution, and the resolution was that the board appointed me as a representative to speak of and to communicate on behalf of the board. The minister is actually quite confused. She does not seem to understand the difference between a meeting of the board, a special meeting of the board, or a round-robin resolution. You take a round-robin resolution without a meeting.
Cape Town police have launched a manhunt for people linked to the murder of a taxi owner in Lwandle. The 42-year-old man, affiliated to Taxi Association Qatar, was shot by unknown gunmen while driving his car yesterday. This attack comes 2 weeks after 5 people were shot and killed at different taxi ranks in the metro. A feud between Taxi Associations Qatar and Kudeta over a route is believed to be behind the killings. Here's the police's Malcolm Porgy.
The motive is believed to be taxi conflict related. The suspects are yet to be arrested. We appeal to anyone with information to contact Captain Lukanya Magatla or the Provincial Detective Serious and Violent Crime on 082 411 3245 or alternatively Crime Stop on 08600 10111.
A leading child and youth advocacy organization says the teenage birth rate crisis in the Eastern Cape has been ignored for far too long. A Statistics South Africa report shows that more than 100 children aged between 10 and 14 gave birth in the province between April and July this year. The director of Teddy Bear Clinics, Shahida Omar, says this is concerning.
This is just something that has been left for far too long. It's a national pandemic and the president has to address it. We have to declare this a national pandemic because the reality is that South Africa has increasing numbers of children giving birth to children.
Omar says the crisis is testament to deep social injustices.
We know there is learner-on-learner sexual abuse, but there's a lot of adult-on-learner, educator-on-learner, and those are the cases, the statutory rape cases that are not coming to the fore. What we are getting is only the cases that are reported.
And at least 15 people have died in a new outbreak of the Ebola virus in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The presence of the virus had been confirmed in a 34-year-old pregnant woman who was admitted to hospital last month. She showed symptoms that included a high fever and repeated vomiting. She died a few hours later from multiple organ failure. This will be the 16th outbreak of the deadly virus in the country that has poor health services and is hit by conflict in the east. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 8 and 14 degrees, peaking at highs between 28 and 30.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 South. This is between Linwood Road and Botha Avenue. That's due to a major accident scene. Please be on the lookout there. There's also queuing traffic in the northerly direction of this route due to that very scene. People are having a look on the opposite side of the road, and that's the reason for the delay. While traveling on the N1 North out of Malibongwe Drive, expect delays all the way towards Rivonia Road due to another accident.
The top story this hour, as a legal battle looms between the sacked SA Tourism Board and Minister Patricia de Lille, former members say that she got her facts wrong when deciding to fire them.
James, congrats on the babies.
Yeah, thanks. It's a wild ride.
You're a new dad, 2 babies, 0 sleep, and 1 car that apparently couldn't cope.
Yeah, the hatchback was my baby, but it just didn't have enough space for my 2 new babies.
And are you happy with the price when you sold to We Buy Cars?
Very. We've even got some extra cash to splurge on one of those fancy prams that you basically need a license for.
Good luck, James. We Buy Cars. Geared for family, geared for you.
When captains of industry gather to discover how AI and other exponential technologies can future-proof their operations, they'll find out what matters most at the Stellenbosch Business Institute C-Leader Summit. Global thought leader Dr. Vivian Ming will challenge you on what it means to lead in an automated world by unlocking the full power of human intelligence in the age of AI. Join her and other thought leaders by visiting sbiinstitute.co.za. So that's sbiinstitute.co.za to book your seat at the Stellenbosch Business Institute Sea Leader Summit on the 2nd of October at the Forum in Bryanston. Stellenbosch Business Institute, beyond a business school.
Light the fire this game day with a winning lineup from Checkers. Like Steakhouse Classic man-sized T-bone for 140 Rand per kilo. Monster Energy Drink 500 mils, any two for 29 Rand. Save 24%. And Fanta, Sprite or Stony soft drink 2 litres, any two for 35 Rand. Save 13%. Light the fire, South Africa, and let Checkers do the rest. Deals valid until this Sunday, only at Checkers.
Welcome to the brand new days.
Sail the world with Norwegian Cruise Line, with more to see, more to do, and more to enjoy. Plus, upgrade your holiday with NCL's More at Sea for premium beverages, specialty dining, and much more. Think international cruising. Think NCL. For the best deals available, visit ncl.com or contact your travel agent. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to the brand new days.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Is it difficult to find new business in South Africa right now?
The competition is quite high. It's quite tough. You've got everybody wanting to participate in what was formerly the insurance industry. You've got retailers going into insurance. You've got the banks offering insurance. So it's really about an overall holistic financial services play and what you have to offer.
Abigail Makuba, the Chief Financial Officer at Sanlam.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show, Stephen Curtis, is brought to you by ABSA CIB, proud sponsor of the SARA Rail Conference 2025. Your story matters. ABSA is a registered FSP.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
I think one thing I can credit my grandfather is the way that growing up with him in the village and stuff, he saw that he was not going to be able to give me a bright future living in the village. And he pressured my parents to take me to say, go and live with the child in the city. Whatever you'll eat, that they will eat that. And give them a better education. Because, I mean, at the time I was going on grade 7 and I couldn't even speak English. And my mom took me into the city. And I promise you, that changed my life completely. And I give it to him. My grandfather saw that he wasn't going to be able to give me the future that I deserved. So he said, no, take him to where the lights are brighter. And I think that changed my life completely. And I'm grateful for that.
It's 702. My brother, we grew up quite poor. And he used to take spice, whatever he could find, make pop, dry pop with salt. And sometimes we were a bit of margarine or whatever. Oh, man, those were the best meals ever. So that's how I remember him.
Hi, I'm going to be anonymous. I've left money to my will to a lady who looked after my destitute ex-sister-in-law. My ex-sister-in-law lived in her home for 10 years about, a long time, very long time. Never paid a cent because my sister-in-law had nothing. And she's got 9 siblings. They all retired, had nothing. And this lady is just an angel and told my sister-in-law that it's her tithing in life. And my sister-in-law lived in her home for free, practically, other than her SASSA grant, until the day she died. And that's the person. I've never met her. I found out where she is. They're in a different province. Got to her banking details, and I've left something in my will.
Wow. That's incredible. We were talking about this businessman who is leaving $1 billion to Neymar in his will, and the administrator justified that he identifies with, of course, the athlete, and decided to give his inheritance to the player. And I'm just thinking, well, he doesn't need $1 billion, but that's what this businessman has decided. So we've been asking you if someone other than your family member, your parent, has left something in their will for you.
EWN Sport.
19 minutes before 9 o'clock, this EWN Sport is brought to you by Jayco. Start here and let nothing stop you, not even traffic. Cindy Paluta all the national teams are in action this weekend.
They are. It's such a big weekend. If you want to know where I'm going to be, it's in front of the TV every time a national side is playing. So it starts tonight. Just looking at the weekend, Springbok men and women, as well as the Proteas and Bafana, all in action tonight, 6 o'clock against Lesotho. It's a World Cup qualifier in Bloemfontein. There are some new faces in the team because some top players are missing, but Coach Hugo Bross is not worried.
For me, it was very important to see in the previous days how those players, those new players, would behave them on the pitch and off the pitch. And I'm very happy with them. Really, they are motivated, really motivated to show me that the choice I made, that it was the right choice. I'm confident if we need them or if they should start tomorrow, that I don't have to be worried about it.
Tomorrow morning, the Springboks face their toughest battle against rivals, the All Blacks, at 9:05. The game's at Eden Park, which is a happy hunting ground for the All Blacks.
It's a difficult thing for me to answer so it doesn't come across the wrong way, but Ellis Park is for us holy, and 2 years ago we lost against the All Blacks. And we've got the Alex Spark aura, and 2 weeks ago we lost against Australia there. So we're not disrespecting that. We don't think there's something more that can motivate us just by playing the All Blacks.
Springbok women are playing France in their last group game at the Rugby World Cup on Sunday night. The Bok women have already qualified for the quarterfinals. Also Sunday, Proteas will be going for a whitewash ODI series win over England. This after the Proteas beat England by 5 runs in the second ODI, defending 331 last night. Man of the match Bretzka made 85 and says he really enjoys playing there.
To be honest, I love playing cricket in England. Just the crowds and the energy that the crowds bring, there's nothing better. I feed off it. So yeah, it's been good, and long may it continue.
At the US Open, the women's final will be defending champion Sabalenka against Anisimova. Anisimova came from a set down to beat Osaka 6-7, 7-6 and 6-3. Sabalenka, meanwhile, also coming from a set down to beat Pagula.
I think I really play great tennis, and I think I handled that pressure really well, and I'm super proud of this win, and happy to be in another final.
Men's semi-final today, Alcaraz against Djokovic, followed by Sinner and Auger Aliassime. Last round of the Currie Cup this weekend as well. Tomorrow at Ellis Park, the Lions are fourth on the table. They're hosting the top of the table, Griquas, and must win if they want to make the playoffs. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
They'll tell you to wait until you're ready, until the plan is perfect, until you have it all together. But let's be real. Anyone who's done anything started without enough. They started nervous, started without a plan, until the hustle made sense. They started anyway. And when ambition calls, you need more than a ride. You need a car built to start you on your journey, to drive you into what's next. Start where it matters. Start where it counts. The new JQ J5. Start here.
EWN Traffic.
15 minutes before 9 o'clock, your traffic wrap here on 702 Breakfast, Amo.
Well, Clement, we've got delays in the city of Tshwane on the N1 South between Rigel Avenue and the Botha Avenue due to an accident. In Irene, we still have got those delays along Mapiers Road and Main Road due to faulty traffic lights. And if you're traveling on the N1 North, we still have got delays between Malibongwe Drive and Rivonia Road due to an earlier accident. While traveling on the N3 North, some delays between Van Buren Road and the Kilulis interchange. More updates at the top of the hour.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
Pratibos, how you doing? Kimnat.
Tada, you were on our thoughts for yesterday.
Thank you.
We were with you in spirit.
Thank you very much.
Tada. Coming up on the show, have you ever been a victim of a bank scam? How much did it cost you? How did the bank resolve that? Did you get your money back from the bank? Or did they say, hey, listen, it's your fault? Because all these are on a rise, especially AI-driven, deepfake, propelled bank scams. Your money, someone is calling you, and without even knowing, you give permission for your money to go. And it's not really authorization, but the bank, in many cases, does not tolerate that. It says, I'm sorry about that. Tough cookies. So we want to ask you on the open line about that. And also on the open line, Trump is trying to change the name of the Department of Defense. And he wants to call it the Department of War. And we'll be asking you, is there any ministry or department that we should add or replace in South Africa? So that's 9 to 10. 10 to 11, we'll be speaking to lifestyle journalists and just having a chat with lifestyle journalists. What is it that they do, and shooting the breeze with them, getting to understand their work. Relationship focused, Clement. Are you a mama's boy, and how's that affecting your relationship? And is mommy interfering in your intimate relationship, or daddy's girl? Daddy's thoughts are all over, hovering over your relationship, and your partner is always in a tight corner because you are projecting daddy's thoughts or mommy's thoughts in that relationship. All that and more between 9 and 12.
Looking forward to that. That's Bratibos coming up between 9 and 12 o'clock.
Breathe in, insurance. Breathe out, pineapple. In, insurance. Breathe out, pineapple. Again. In, insurance. Out, pineapple. Again and again.
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Hollywood Bet Aziz Shege. Be on the Game is back for the new soccer season. Up for grabs is a share of 4 million rand in prizes, including the Toyota Rumion, Corolla Cross, Hilux 2.4 GD6 DC, and a Starlet Cross. To qualify, bet 10 rand or more on any soccer fixture or fixtures for your chance to score big. Bet now. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Spring has sprung at Stodell's Garden Centres. Transform your garden with 50% off on a massive variety of plants and also 50% off a wide selection of pots. Experience the colour, happiness and buzz of spring when you shop at Stodell's Garden Centres. Visit Stodell's at Bryanston, Ferndale or Menlo Park and add a burst of colour to your garden. Stodell's. Create happiness. Offer ends 7 September. T's and C's apply.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Hi Clement. So I'm the one to keep secrets, right? But my wife, on the other hand, she can't keep it to herself. Ooh, it's like her mouth waters. She wants to tell me so badly. And this person made a vow to her to say, look, you're not going to tell anybody, please, not even your husband. But hey, my wife, she just manages to just tell me. And it's like, you know, when you see those crumbs at the end of a packet of crisps at the end. That's how she sees me. She's like, I want to tell you this, like. So yeah, wives will always tell their husbands, regardless. Jose from Eldorado Park.
Clement, maybe it's time you get married. You know, all the secrets we had, we shared with our wives, and not because we wanted to, but we had to, because these individuals have this talent of uncovering the hidden secrets from us. It's Peter from Boksburg. Thank you for the lovely show, as always.
Good morning, guys, and all the 702 land. I think I'm good at keeping secrets, because the term itself, secret, it shows that this thing must be kept. It must never be told to anyone, even to your partner, even to the nearest person, closest person to you. You must keep it very dearly to you, because the moment you say it, it ceases to be a secret. No matter it's detailed or less detailed, but the moment you say it out, the moment you express it or say it to anyone else, it ceases to be a secret. So I think I'm good at keeping secrets. I have a lot of secrets that I'm bottling in within me. And I'm thinking of this thing, with the moment that I'm going to say this thing out, it ceases to be a secret.
Yeah, hey. Okay, keep those WhatsApps coming. Maybe I'll wrap up the show with a few more of them. It's 9 minutes now before 9.
You're with Clement Maniatella.
702. Let's walk the talk.
So this September, Johannesburg plays host to a festival that's as much about heritage as it is about music. The 4th annual Folklor festival takes place at the National School of the Arts from the 11th to the 13th of September. It's 3 days of cultural sounds, food and craft markets and family fun. All the cool stuff really, all under this year's theme of kinfolk. And on the lineup are legendary acts like Mahotela Queens alongside rising stars. And at the heart of it all, it's the spirit of storytelling and preserving African traditions. Joining us now to tell us more is Philani Bubu, who is the founder and artistic director. Philani, thank you so much for making time. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
So for someone who's never really been to an event like this, how would you describe the spirit of Folklor Festival? What is it all about?
I believe that it is a celebration of culture and community and creativity, and we like to think of ourselves as the premier destination for Afro folk and contemporary folk music. Expect to hear sounds you've never heard, but ones that really link you back to who you are as as Africans and as South Africans. We're a Pan-African festival, but also a multidisciplinary festival that's really focuses on African storytelling. So if you're someone who engages in meaningful content about a sense of belonging or community and heritage, this is the festival for you.
Okay, and the theme this year, kinfolk, we're honoring our roots, our shared belonging. How do you interpret that theme as an artist?
You know, every year we like to lead with a theme because we are a platform that really focuses on conversation and storytelling. And so it helps us guide the narrative. And kinfolk is really about going beyond our own bloodlines and understanding that we live in like one collective consciousness, one shared community, and that there's shared values amongst us. And kinfolk is a way in which for us to kind of come together and redefine what those values are, whether we express them in different art forms as people in fashion and culture, if that makes sense. And so it really aligns to all the common things that we share or the common things that we appreciate within ourselves and our culture.
And I've loved how you've created this broader cultural experience at this event, because I see that it's not just about music. There are book fairs. What else is there? Indigenous instrument workshop, food, craft markets. There's a children's zone as well. So there's a lot to do.
There's a lot going on there, 100%. I think our main festival, which happens on Heritage Month, is a celebration of the work that we do. The festival itself is founded by the Folklor community, and if people are looking for it online, that's www.folklorcommunity.co.za. And essentially, the festival is one platform to celebrate and bring certain elements together of lifestyle so we can commune. But the other ways that we commune as a community is we also have a Folklorish podcast that is on YouTube and Spotify. We also try to run Folklor for Kids, where we participate in an intergenerational dialogue so that these indigenous knowledge systems and the things that we hold, I guess maybe as elders and people of community, kind of owe it to young people to share what we know of ourselves. And I think it gives them a sense of confidence and belonging. So we really do prioritize the kids zone, but also kids activities across the year. We're also engaging in artistic development this year because we believe that we have such a rising and emerging subset of artists in South Africa, particularly those on our lineup this year, the likes of Odra Bongo, Jabulile Majola, Zawadi Yamungu, the Mahotela Queens, who've proven themselves to be re-exportable this year and re-emerged, as well as Butlebendalo. And what we want to do is kind of really go beyond South Africa and be able to export our musicians. So we need to get them ready and we need to kind of contribute to our own sort of ecosystem and creative economy. So those are the things that we've also expanded into, trying to kind of become a medium and an agent for artists that we so respect in the space that we work in, which is contemporary folk and contemporary expressions of African storytelling.
Yeah, that's incredible with that lineup, because you not just have these legends like Mahotela Queens, you've got these new voices as well. How important was it for you to think about this intergenerational mix?
Do you know, the project really comes out of me being an artist myself, a singer-songwriter, someone who tours quite globally consistently. And my first two albums were written in English. And so my third project, Folklor Chapter 1, was one that really brought me back home. And I realized how much importance our stories are and in the way that we need to archive. And for me, as an artist, I started with music as a technology, right? And so then I realized that there's people who write books who are writing and representing us, films, etc. And so so I think that what it brought me back to is being raised in the Transkei and having elders and people who took the time, either in the village or whether the suburb of Umtata, to share traditional folk songs with me. And those folk songs were the platform in which I used to kind of like re-engage my language, to speak of myself, to share meaningful content around, I guess, our rights, our rituals, and our folk tales. And so I think it all begins with sharing knowledge with young people and taking the time to do that. And so I came back to intergenerational dialogue as someone who's grown up and had to think back as to how did I become who I am, culturalized, conscientized. And it was because someone else took the time, who was older than me, to share something with me, whether it be in song or story.
What sort of reaction do you normally get when these kind of stories are told back to ourselves as South Africans? I mean, you've taken these South African stories to a global stage, and I wonder what you've picked up in as far as a response is concerned when those stories are told on that global stage or here at home.
Do you know, I think the importance is that when our stories are told, there's representation. We need to see ourselves in them, but also we should be allowed to be the ones who tell them ourselves. And, you know, there's always contention when an international film comes out and it's really, I guess it is research, but then maybe not representative of who we are because of the choice of actors. And when I also realize that it is up to us to dispel stereotypes and myths, to create our own legends, and because that defines our value systems. What is thought about us, what is seen about us, and what is understood about us really changes how people see or view us and invest in us as a country or as a people. And so that responsibility of kind of being the voice and the spokesperson of our work allows us to define exactly who we are in corrected format, but also in progressive format, and also in definitive format, where we start to actually realize even our own ambitions and aspirations of who we want to become. So it allows us to dream, reimagine who we are, not by kind of past forms or colonial terms, if that makes sense.
Philani, thank you so much for speaking to us. Philani Bubu is the founder and artistic director at Folklor Festival. It's returning to Johannesburg, the 4th annual Folklor Festival. It's taking place at the National School of the Arts from the 11th to the 13th of September. It's really 3 days of cultural sounds, food and craft markets. There's a children's zone, so you can have some family fun there as well. It's going to be so much fun. Go check it out.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
My wish when I started working was to buy myself a gun shed, any gun shed. So as soon as I got employed, I bought myself 4 of them, 4 white gun sheds. Thank you.
Good morning, Clement and the team. I'm laughing because of the previous voice note caller with the gold tooth and everything she had. I grew up like that. So yes, I get it. But one thing I really wanted is I wanted a Armani shirt and a Louis Vuitton bag. So my mom got me a brand new Armani shirt, still have it, still wear it. And then she also got me a second-hand Louis Vuitton bag. And it was amazing. It was great. It was for my first, it was when I was going to varsity. I had to give the bag back to her because I was like, it's a little bit too much for me at varsity right now, and I didn't want to be too much. But everything else I still have, except for the gold tooth. My mom had a gold tooth on the left, and then my dad had one in the center, so I got one on the right just to seal off the family portrait, but I got rid of it. Yeah. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Left, right, center. Golds in this family. Oh, my goodness. That's where we leave it for today. Thank you for listening to the Friday edition of 702 Breakfast. Time now for Eyewitness News, which is brought to you by Lottoland. Lottoland changes lives. Afterwards, the Clement Manyatela Show begins. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye-bye.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Parliament's Cooperative Governance Committee says it will process a bill to prescribe how coalition governments should operate. Zulu. Parliament's Cooperative Governance Committee says it will process a bill to prescribe how coalition governments should operate. The committee is in the Northwest on a 2-day oversight visit to assess service delivery and municipal finances. Its chairperson, Zweli Mkhize, says political instability has been flagged as one of the concerns affecting local governance. Mkhize says the bill, which comes into effect in November,